Feeling higher than the sky, Gemini. Yeah, we do it every night, every night. Feeling higher than the sky, Gemini. Yeah, we do it every night, every night. Go hard, I don't waste time, living life in the limelight. Feeling good and the vibes right, you know. Go hard, I don't waste time, living life in the limelight. Feeling good and the vibes right, you know. I'm never gonna give up. You're never gonna stop me now. I'm never gonna give up. You're never gonna bring me down. What you want from me? Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. Go hard, I don't waste time, living life in the limelight. Feeling good and the vibes right, you know. Go hard, I don't waste time, living life in the limelight. Feeling good and the vibes right, you know. I'm never gonna give up. You're never gonna stop me now. I'm never gonna give up. You're never gonna bring me down.
Starts out. Our heartbeat starts out. Our heartbeat starts out. Our heartbeat starts out. Like a drum set to a timer, but always seems to end too soon. Starts out like a drum set to a timer, but always seems to end too soon. Seems to end too soon.
I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. inside. This love I feel for you, oh, it keeps me satisfied. Love I feel from you keeps me safe inside. This love I feel for you, oh, it keeps me satisfied.
Call me up in the middle of the night, 'cause something doesn't feel right. No, we don't need to fight. I'm just trying to have a good time, yeah. Said it's lonely now when you're turning out the light. Said it's harder now to keep sight of everything you like about me. Just wanna have a good life. Torn at the seams, yeah, it's hard to believe that we made it this far. We were born in a dream, we've been lost out at sea, but together we are unbreakable. I called you up in the early morning light, 'cause something didn't sit right. I didn't wanna lie about it, but I stayed out after midnight. I said, I'm sorry, love, I don't ever wanna fight. Said I didn't mean to lose sight of everything you've done here for me, and I wanna share a good life. Torn at the seams, yeah, it's hard to believe that we made it this far. We were born in a dream, we've been lost out at sea, but together we are unbreakable.
더 이상 지켜볼 수 없다. 이제는 내가 직접 나서야 할 때가 된 것 같구나. 형제들이 검을 높이 들어 첫 번째 저수백에 더 이상 패배란 존재하지 않는다. 이 땅에 영광의 전투가 펼쳐지리라. 엔타로 GSL.
I can't stop breathing. I'm only burning. We always run.
아프리카 TV 프리고 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 3 Codex. Last stand.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another day of the GSL Code S. We've been slowly moving through the round of 24. I think today is a group that should have some good games, but I think there's definitely favorites here.
Oh, yeah, no, we have two massive favorites, but that doesn't mean things can't go sideways. We do have a couple up-and-coming Protoss players, so they can throw some wrenches into the works, but we are approaching the end of the round of 24. We have this group, and then, of course, we have the group that everyone's waiting for on Wednesday, which is Beyond versus Parting to open the day.
Very cool to have Beyond back. We've now been around for long enough that there are players who have dominated, completely left the scene, whether it's for personal reasons or for the military service that's required of all young men out here. And they're coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
DRG as well last season. I mean, it's so cool to have these stories unfold like this, and I'm really looking forward to Wednesday. Also, on the same channel that you're watching us here now, we'll be casting ASL later today.
That's right. It starts in 6 hours.
This is our busiest day, I guess for you and me for the whole year, right? This is
Might be
the most casting we'll probably ever have in a day. So do join us for that. If you're just now tuning in, you can hang out with us all day while we go through the best StarCraft you can ask for.
See a good race distribution thus far. We'll see who gets out today as well, of course. I'm very happy right now with where the round of 16 is at, but we gotta finish this off strong too. We have two gigantic names in this group: Innovation and Sue. Sue is particularly important because he is going to the military right after this GSL season.
Yeah, like he's basically got his military date set so that it will start right around when the finals ends.
Yes.
I think a few days afterwards, to be exact. So, going to be sad to see him eventually go, but, you know, we're seeing players come back and be very strong. And, you know, the story of StarCraft 2 just continues on. Our first player, and I think the one that stands out the most in this group, is going to be Innovation. This guy, few players can reach the accomplishment levels that Innovation have.
Yeah.
He's really something else.
It is ridiculous what he's done within the game, but he hasn't had a victory in a while, which is kind of funny because most people just have never won, but this guy is like one of the most accomplished players of all time. Now he's gone up against Hurricane, who's a very up and down player. He has really brilliant sparks of amazing play every now and then the rest of the time he's kind of around a 24 guy.
Yeah, like we mentioned in our previous group, this is players that are in like the tier 4 category, I guess you could put them in.
Yeah.
They are players that occasionally qualify for GSL, but we don't have very high expectations for them.
Yeah. Hurricane, I mean, we're kind of hoping to see him bust out of his shell again. He had that great super tournament, but other than that, nothing to write home about. Now, that being said, Innovation has had a very hard time against Protoss lately. So that could be an opening for Hurricane to make something happen.
Yeah, let's see how these two do together. Again, we all expect Innovation to advance, at least to the winner's match here today. I don't know if he faces off against Sue exactly what that'll look like, but hold out hope here for Hurricane. You know, some of these players, it takes them a little bit later to hit their stride. And maybe this is going to be Hurricane's day here today. We're going to start our first game out on Deathera, then Icing Chrome and Pillars of Gold for map 3. Let's go.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께 우린 더욱 강하다. 카이트 게임, 이노베이션, 이신영.
It's our very yellow GSL jacket for this season.
팀 LP, 허리케인, 남기호.
Right. Kind of excited about this particular match because I think that this is one that is doable for Hurricane. Obviously, Innovation, playing as Innovation does, should be able to take him out, but he's had a hard time you know, in this matchup more lately. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one that, you know, it's possible for Hurricane to take. You're right. I mean, all the other pieces are there for a possible upset. You know, it does seem like the matchup that is the most troubling right now for the state of the game is PVZ. You know, if you're a Protoss player, if you can get against Terrans that you think you can take, that's a really good way to try to advance, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's one Zerg in the group, and he's a damn strong one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't really expect either of the Protoss players to be able to take out Zoun.
I don't think so.
Maybe Innovation, though.
Innovation, I think, could, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about Innovation, and it's been joked about, of course, and even though people make fun of it, I think it's still the sign of an incredibly strong player is how robotic he is and how, you know, there's generally not these super special strategies he does to win. He's just mechanically very gifted. He knows how to produce. He knows how to control him in fights. Yeah. He never attacks too early. That's another big sign of how Innovation plays. And a lot of times he kind of just strongmans him, strong arms him.
Yeah. Well, he's very strong and he's very fast. And that's a great way to be at StarCraft.
Yeah.
That is going to get you really far in this game.
It's very different from like the way that, for instance, SOS is played, where like SOS will occasionally miss pylons and stuff like that, but he really knows how to enter the game and navigate it in such a way that, you know, he'll bend the game to his will. You know, he'll bend the game into a pretzel if he needs to make his strategies work. Innovation, a lot of times you could know what he's going to do ahead of time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Like, he's one of the players where I think you could be playing against him and there's map hacks on. Like, you'd be map hacking against him and it wouldn't matter that much.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of an interesting way to put it, but yeah, basically very standard, strong mechanical play is how you beat something like a map hack. It's like your opponent can see what you're doing, but they can't stop it. And actually, like, while that type of advantage is really, really strong, pros will still beat just about everyone in that situation anyways.
Yeah,
and
very
Innovation
true.
is a good example of someone who absolutely would. You'd have no chance.
So in this game, we've actually got the Reaper coming through here to scout. Now, this is a build we've seen pretty often here in PvT, and I think it's probably one of the best builds you can go for in this matchup right now. It seems like a pretty good catch-all.
Yeah. I mean, 3-gate blink is all sorts of opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Like,
there's actually a lot of ways to tech into 3-gate blink as well. We've seen a lot of different approaches.
You got 2 probes, man.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
not
little bit scary. That's a bad sign. I think he's going to get a third here. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, it looks like it's just about done, but that was a really good Reaper. Full scouting, knows everything, and he killed 2 probes.
And Hurricane not moving that hallucinated Phoenix there. Sitting outside the main base there for Innovation.
During this, you know, it was a lot of damage. He did very well with it.
That's got to be some kind of record for how long a Reaper stayed alive in a Protoss base moving around doing scouting.
It was pretty long. It was pretty long. But Hurricane is just continuing forward with his build. He's actually going 3rd Nexus and double Forge.
Yeah, so really investing into the late game here.
Yeah, with the double Forge, that kind of tells us we're not as likely to see heavy Robotech or anything for a bit. It should just be a very... he's trying to play like a purely powerful style against one of the power players. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, he's trying to match him.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting take.
Because I wasn't sure what to expect when we came into this series. I almost imagined the series would be one where there was going to be some pretty cheesy stuff from Hurricane early on here. But it's pretty cool to see that he wants to go head-to-head and try to match a player like Innovation. So let's see how he actually does.
Yeah, I feel like his Stalkers are going to need to go across the map. Especially as he gets up here and sees what he's going to see. He sees a Raven. Okay, well, that was not an ideal scout right there. I feel like he could have flown around. He could have seen exactly, like, all the information. But he's going to need to slow down Innovation's first push out, right? Because Innovation should be getting ready to take a third and doing a push. And when you're doing this type of play from Hurricane, you need to slow him a bit. You need your 1-1 to be done. You need a couple rounds out of your new gateways. You know, you've jumped up 3 bases real quick. You don't have any splash damage. And, like, this is just a completely regular thing. Notice how Innovation is over twice the army supply of Hurricane. That's normal for these 2 builds, which is why you must slow them down.
Yeah, it's essential that you curb the progress that they're making here.
Okay, here he is with the Stalkers. So this is exactly what he needs. Okay, a couple Marines picked off. Not bad. So 3 Marines picked off. Not bad, really. See what he does here against the auto turrets if he can react really quickly.
Yeah, now he's going to be microing these Stalkers, but if he's not paying attention back at home, he's going to lose a lot of probes. And already we have 5 probes dead. It looks like that number is, that's where it's going to peak at for now. But here comes the push. And again, you know, with things moving as fast as they do in StarCraft, it's kind of hard to be on top of everything at once. So,
absolutely.
Even though I think that was held pretty well by Hurricane, now this army is spilling through the center of the map, and it's going to be diving onto the third. There's a counterattack opportunity here, although I think simply the units that are coming out of the barracks would be enough to actually hold that off.
I still think that was a very good move overall, a very good idea. And oh my god, the mines actually just run up and burrow. He does get 1 down, so he's going to lose the sentry. Unfortunately there. Needs more units coming in. Hurricane a little bit outside of his range right there, but overall a pretty good hold, I would say.
Yeah, a little bit clunky as far as execution goes from Innovation. I mean, he lost those Widow mines. It seems like the push collided with the defense before Innovation was actually ready to set everything up where it needed to be. Similar to the situation here where there's a mine running ahead.
Well, one interesting thing I see is, okay, he does start the +2 armor now because he only had +2 weapons going for a while. +2 armor, I think, is actually even more important. Like, +2 armor zealots, you can really tell the difference when they're fighting Marines,
It gives you a lot more sustain in a fight, for sure.
But yeah, he's got his upgrades going, and that's kind of the crucial thing. When you go double forge, you're really aiming for 2-2. Because at 1-1, it doesn't even make sense. Why'd you make 2 forges, right? It's very expensive. But at 2-2, you're like, okay, now I'm really powerful. So we'll see if he can kind of stay alive to that moment, because Innovation now, he's spreading out. He still has the Raven in the back. He has 2 big groups here with medevacs ready for harassment, ready for pressuring.
Okay, the push is coming down now again. So far, we saw Hurricane hold this off pretty well, but the army supply is vastly superior here, although it is divided on the map here for Innovation. So let's see how well he can actually hold.
Well, he gets 2 of the mines right away, so that was pretty good. Over here, he does have that battery. He needs to pull back a little bit, I think. He's being a little bit sloppy on the couple of sides, but does have some counter harassment going down.
Okay, he will possibly pick up here. Just going to the main. And again, we're seeing 2 different fights on 2 different fronts.
Wow, the overcharge really helping there.
Yeah. Drop now over here into the main. You can see Hurricane is scrambling to try to catch up. Supplies have plummeted on both sides, but it's still a big lead here for Innovation overall. And here's where the tug of war in an Innovation game comes. Is can you hang on? Can you toe the line here? By the way, 8 probe kills there with the Raven. Innovation really everywhere right now.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a hard time. More mines coming in here as well. Colossus will be joining the fray shortly, but like, if Innovation groups his whole army up, it will crush one of these little side armies, and we don't have great vision from a Hurricane to see it happening. Like, look at this. This army is way better than what Hurricane has right there. Runs up burrows. Actually, great targeting on some of these mines, I have to say.
Yeah, doing a good job so far. The Colossus may be the saving grace here. Innovation tries to dive in and take it out. The mines now clearing all the zealots. And again, you know, it's
pretty solid hold.
It's getting a little bit scrappy here, some of these fights, but I'll tell you, man, Hurricane's hanging on.
He is hanging on, and he's got that 2-2 now, which is important. He's well ahead of Innovation on that. Innovation's about halfway to his 2-2.
But I do worry about this 4th base up here at 12 o'clock that Innovation's taking. Innovation may outgrow a Hurricane, even as Hurricane is holding off most of these attacks.
Well, yeah, Innovation does have the lead here, right? He hasn't actually taken any real damage from Hurricane, whereas Hurricane's lost like 20 probes or so so far this game. And Innovation, he's losing chunks of his army. Ooh. Oh, that was a good cancel. That was a good cancel. He's losing chunks of his army, but like, he's keeping the army count really low for Hurricane. Hurricane is only holding each attack.
Yeah, again, this may start to develop into an Innovation win here. I'm really glad for Hurricane's sake that he managed to deny that command center, because he needed a win on that side of the map.
Uses that overcharge. Oh my god, wow. It's a lot of mines.
That might be a breaking point there.
And you see, he just does not have much army.
Yeah, and there's going to be much more army joining in with the rest of this. Over here, north of the main, we have more attacks coming down. Actually, getting these cybernetic scores is a pretty big deal. That hiccups all the Stalker production.
Very annoying there for Hurricane. He doesn't actually have... The cannon died, so he has to warp in a new cannon to get rid of these mines, but they're going to get new shots off. Oh, a disable there as well. That's
this actually may be the killing blow here. Again, a very innovation-esque win if it is, in fact, the end of the game. Yep, there it is. It's like he just keeps putting pressure on, and eventually the other player caves.
Yeah. The thing is, everything Innovation did worked a little bit. From the Protoss side, like, you have to either perfectly defend all that harassment or really push back the main army, right?
Yeah.
You can't take a little bit of damage on every side and then be okay, especially against Innovation.
Cool to see that Hurricane decided to go head-to-head, though, to play out a macro defensive game with Double Forge.
Yeah. It's hard to play like that against Innovation, I think.
It's kind of crazy to see Innovation kiting on 2 different screens. Like, I don't even understand how that looks. Because he definitely is picking one where he's got to devote more of his attention. But you'll see these fights, and he knows which one is more important to micro, which one he can set and forget. He'll have auto turrets being sprayed down at other locations as well. It's just crazy. Anyways, guys, game number 2 is loaded up just now. Icy Chrome will be our map.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 카이즈 게임, 이노베이션, 이신영. 팀 LG, 허리케인, 남기우.
We'll see what he brings for us this time.
Yeah, we just got to wait, find out what exactly.
Hurricane has a pretty big range, so
He does.
not overly worried about that aspect of it.
I almost wish we could have had Hurricane facing off against a different player, because I would like to see how well he could do. But, you know, Innovation's such a strong opponent. Like,
Yeah.
Hurricane was actually doing pretty well. He was holding all those attacks for minutes on end at minus 40 supply overall.
Yeah.
And the worker count for him was quite high, so he was doing a lot with a little.
His defense was good.
Yeah.
His overcharges were really good at the third base. Like,
Yeah.
he was doing them at really appropriate times and holding on against some tough stuff. But, yeah, he was just taking a bit too much damage everywhere.
Yeah. There's not much you can do, you know.
Yeah. He just kind of got outplayed there. But his play wasn't bad.
No,
that's for sure.
he looked very good for sure. So the SCV scout's going to come through here. It's going to be a little bit before we get an idea of what exactly the game's going to look like with these two players. I doubt we'll have a Reaper that stays alive for that long, like we had in the previous game.
Yeah, that was already the beginning of pain for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I saw that and I thought, this is a bad sign. Sometimes you'll have someone make a mistake early on, like the Reaper kills 4 Zerglings or something, and you go, oh, this could be a sign of what's to come.
Yeah, the Reaper thing, it's nothing more than a skill check, to be honest. It shows the difference in skill between players pretty accurately for something in the early game. If, like, for instance, right, we always kind of joke about how, like, yeah, the Reaper's going to damage the Lings. That's a couple even players playing. Like, the Reaper won't get anything. But then you get someone that's way better than the other one, they'll kill stuff with it, right?
Right.
And then against Protoss, too, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, you're pressuring with a couple of depths, but then you lost 2 probes. So was that a depth pressure any good? Probably not, right? Like, if you're not able to defend the Reaper while doing that, or get more value out of your depths, then we're just kind of seeing different levels of players there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, know what you can do against a player.
It does look like as Game 2 opens up here, same ideas coming from Hurricane. Blink Stalker, Blinkstalker's pretty good defensive play. Oh, but he's actually going to Robo-Bay a little bit quicker, and he made it hallucinating Oracle. Okay, so this is actually becoming a little bit more different.
Yeah, that's cool.
I stand corrected here. Oh, that was so good.
That was beautiful. Love it.
Well, let's see how much damage it can do. That was really something else, man.
Yeah. I love those bounces.
Okay, so looks like 3 probes killed. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, this was good. And
Pretty
he gets
much
to
space
scout.
for itself.
Yeah, scouts everything in 3 probes. Yeah, Hellions don't scale against Protoss at all. So,
yeah,
if you're gonna have one, you're gonna use it early, and same with Reapers against everybody.
But I do like the switch of the Oracle hallucination, just to possibly
mix that
throw
in,
him
right?
off. Yeah.
So you're not ever afraid if you see a Phoenix, because it's always a hallucinated Phoenix, but you see an Oracle, it's like, your brain should at least be like, oh, it's an Oracle.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe throw you off a little bit. Probably won't affect innovation too much, but just some cool stylistic stuff here. So over on innovation side of the map, a lot of the same ideas from the last game. Powering up, getting a Raven here, tanks, Marines, infantry upgrades all around.
And with that third Nexus, you know, a bunch of gates being added on.
And yeah,
I like the
additional
play
5.
a bit
Sorry,
better. I was gonna say I like the play here a bit better personally from Hurricane, because I do think he'll probably go into Colossus tech, right? It's only a single forge as opposed to 2, and he has a Robo instead of that second forge. So I think that this is a good way to kind of show the differences between going 1 forge and 2 forge. Right?
Yeah.
Like you can pop out that Robotech and actually maybe do something with it.
Yeah, you know, you don't have an unlimited amount of gas, so if you want to follow a build order very carefully, you can basically just track where the gas is being invested into. And yeah, look, you're going to have a slightly squishier army later on, but the investment in the Robo and getting some of that Robotech out there can offer other solutions to how to beat your opponent. We have a War Prism on the way here.
Well, that makes a lot of sense with the number of gates he made.
Yeah.
It looks like it's an aggressive play.
Yeah. Although I think it's pretty standard now to almost always get 5 gates after the 3rd coming down here. But
yeah, it's certainly what you can support. I think if you're going Colossus, you're going to get that tech up probably before the additional gates, unless you're planning something more aggressive. But here he comes. His charge is +1, both coming right up. So that's exactly where things are.
okay, that scan is going to kill the Observer. It's going to be up to these few Stalkers to try to kite as much as possible. It's harder than it looks, too. I mean, once you take hull damage there, that's permanent. So if you can get away with just losing shields, that's ideal. But you can see already there's a little bit too much momentum. Innovation going to be pressing forward. Now, I believe there's going to be a War Prism counter. Here it is now. And let's find out if Innovation's actually prepared for this. At the same time, though, Hurricane needs to be able to stabilize over his 3rd. If the 3rd gets toppled, he'll basically just lose the game.
This is good play from Hurricane.
Yeah.
Look at this. And the thing is, he has some sentries as an Immortal. He has the battery there, so he's not going to die to this right now. He can slow this down a lot.
I don't see anything in the main for Innovation right now that can help defend here, but at the same time, this is a pretty serious army pushing through.
All right, he's going to go in and push once again. That overcharge really helping out here. Even though Zealot's alive a very long time. Nice mine hit on one of the sentries.
Yeah, another mine's going to try to skirt up here. He's disabled the Immortal. The Immortal actually... Oh, whoa!
Well,
just running into the front.
You can't let that happen.
Well, keep in mind, though, there's already so much damage being absorbed over here. 22 SCVs have been killed off. If Hurricane can just hold here, I wish he had that Immortal.
Yeah, the Immortal right now would be slaughtering the rest of this. Definitely a big mistake there, but look at this. A couple auto turrets coming down as well. Innovation really trying to get something done because he took so much damage.
Yeah, he took an insane amount of abuse over there, and I think actually Hurricane's barely going to hold this off now.
Yeah.
And this could be a Hurricane win as the game progresses.
Yeah, I like his approach here a lot more than that previous game, right? Like, he took the quick economy, he's getting some upgrades, but he's mixing it up a little bit. He's not just trying to fight power with power. Instead, he's doing a bit of counter harassment and, you know, giving Innovation opportunities to make mistakes, and we see that Innovation has. He had nothing left at home. He was really coming up with everything. If Hurricane was playing the same style as the previous game, then Innovation's attack is going to do a bit better, right? Because there's not Zealots all over his main.
And now we have Innovation turtling very heavily. He's fully aware of how bad the position he's in is right now. If there was a game Hurricane could win, it would be this one here. And look, I think Hurricane had to do two very important, had to advance in two important fronts here. He had to actually do a lot of damage into the main, which he did. He killed off all those SCVs, and at the same time, he kept his third alive. He didn't, I think, lose any probes at all. Maybe one or two were shot down, but basically his economy continued to progress.
Yeah, yeah.
His control could have been a little bit better, but I don't want to nitpick too much, right?
No,
He's
totally.
now in the lead here. Innovation is too scared to actually take a third base on the map.
Yeah.
Because
He doesn't have enough SCVs to anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's a tough situation for him right now. He has a lot of mines. He's adding a couple Raxes. Yeah, so I mean, I think Innovation is just going to make a big army and try to make something happen. Because it doesn't feel like a good situation to go into a longer-term macro game, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to see him focus on upgrades right now because the game is going to be decided. All right, another nice harassment here. He's going to warp in more Zealots, okay.
Yeah, this is not a bad idea. We do not have Innovation turning around. You know, this Warp Prism is actually set up in a really good spot where you can't quite get to it with the infantry, which I love. And if Innovation doesn't win with this counter push, I think that this game's over, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. This is the only thing he has left. Great force fields. I mean, there go down the mines, but...
GG. Okay, Hurricane's doing it. Hell yes. Great play.
Yeah, yeah. Very different from game one. A lot of it looked somewhat similar. The thing is, Innovation did see the robo and everything, so...
I'm surprised he just pushed out with a completely naked main base.
He took a big risk there. Yeah, like, if you think he's going Colossus this game right away, that can be a fine move. But the thing is, I think it's just smart to get that Prism out, right?
Yeah.
Give yourself that opportunity to do counter damage.
So we're going to go to the final map. It'll be Pillars of Gold. And maybe Hurricane can cause the upset that actually lets him go to the winners.
That would be sick. That would be a big deal.
Innovation, though, I think if he can tweak his play slightly, he'll be back into this looking strong. Our game is now loading up, guys. Hurricane versus Innovation. Game 3 starts now.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 카이트 게임, 이노베이션, 이신영. 팀 LP, 허리케인, 남기훈.
Right, Tasteless. I'm ready to see who is going to that winner match.
Are you, Artosis?
I am. It's, it would just be very weird if it's Hurricane, though, in a lot of ways, right?
Well, I would welcome it. I mean, I do like, especially when we have players that have played for a long time,
Yeah.
suddenly hit their stride and start to really
Yeah.
cause upsets.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
were talking about that with, who were we talking about that with in the last one? Armani,
Yeah.
who's kind of been around a bit, but hasn't really done it yet.
yeah, we've been used to seeing Armani in the background of, you know, the early part of
Yeah.
GSLs where he has some good games, but ultimately he is defeated. The two players that we expected to move on do move on. And look, times are changing. Whether it's players who are used to be good and then were gone for a while and now are coming back and looking stronger than ever, or players that have been with us through years of GSL, the last few, especially in Legacy, and it's all coming together.
I wonder if Innovation is going to make another big push and win a championship.
I've been wondering that as well because he looks like the good old Innovation, but
He's been looking good this year, for sure.
yeah, but it's not like he's changed his style. The one thing about Innovation is just that, like, yeah, he's so mechanically terrifying. I just wish he had more of a variety.
He does
when he
mix
approaches
it
the
up
game.
sometimes.
but I don't think it's enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why it does seem like occasionally, like look at this last game we had. Innovation basically did the same thing again. This Reaper is going to do so much damage, it's insane to me.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's wait for the Reaper to finish its job here, and then. This is really unusual that a Reaper is actually going to do this much early on. Looks like it might get a third kill here.
I mean, so if you go
Oh my
proxy
gosh.
Reaper, then it is not even supposed to get 3 kills, right? But we are so close to 3 kills right now.
Yeah, finally it stopped. Just real quick to what I was saying earlier. Look, Hurricane got beaten in a way that everybody that loses Innovation has games of, and makes proper adjustments in Game 2. Innovation kind of brought the same thing again, right? And this time Hurricane had a really strong counterattack. He was very disciplined in how he controlled the push and did not lose his third. And so, yeah, I wonder, like, if Innovation could mix it up a little bit more. You know, like Maru was doing this for a while, where you just didn't know what to expect, and he was proxying a lot, but then he did all sorts of other crazy builds and mech builds and stuff like that.
You definitely can't do the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely do agree with that.
And keep in mind, the last game there was a hallucinated Oracle. Here's a real one.
Yeah, that's a good point. He probably did that on purposefully thinking about this game, right? Would make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense, right? Almost loses the Oracle.
Doesn't quite get the damage I think he was looking for there.
Does seem like Hurricane struggles a little bit with just control early on.
Might just not be his strong suit.
Yeah.
Right? The micro of it. I mean, you watch someone like a Deer or a Hero with Oracles, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
maximum damage almost every single time. Here, it's like, okay, well, we have a few damage things and more damage on the Oracle than there should be, and we got to get out.
So more gateways are coming down as the third nears completion. And although this game is a little bit different from our other two, I think as far as big picture stuff goes, it's going to be the same ideas again here. It's going to be the Terran trying to push and smash the third, and Protoss either defending really well and counterattacking, or maybe doing some type of warping into the main. In this case, the 2 Oracles as well. Another counterattack mechanic here. And I think definitely tagging the army at this phase of the game is critical.
Oh, yeah.
You need to know when the push is going to come. You need to be ready for it. You need to be able to monitor it.
Well, that is very important, right? Because after the Oracle, you're supposed to play kind of greedily, because the Oracle, you know, it makes Terran be a little bit careful. Not as much as it used to, but you're trying to get into your blink and your upgrades and your third nexus and all that. So keeping track is exactly the name of the game.
Okay, Spikey's going to find this. Another tag on that. And fortunately for Hurricane, he's going to get away with both Oracles. Those are going to be important later on. And now that the tag in the main has worn off, as Stim finishes as well, Terran's going to go ahead and group up and begin to push here. Now this map, I think it's a little bit easier to push on than the last map.
Okay.
The last map has a lot more narrow chokes.
Yeah, the third is quite wide open here.
Yeah, the third is, this could be one of these games like we see where the Zerg gets pushed and just loses the third or fourth base. So let's see how well Hurricane can defend. The other games where he was holding off pushes, it was because of map architecture. Now this time the map is booby-trapped.
That's pretty darn good, getting 2 mines and letting him know where it's at. That's good stuff. Okay, so Hurricane, ooh.
Yeah,
I was going to say, like, this is not an appropriate time for that.
Now, you know, the positioning of these Cybernetics core, because you want to wall off against the Reaper early on, we see this get punished a decent amount nowadays in the current meta.
Well, especially from Hurricane, who, like, in these openings, he's losing 2 probes of the Reaper anyways. What is that wall doing for him?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. So Innovation flirted with the idea of diving over the wall, the stasis wall, and he actually will do that. And the push continues on. Looks like he wants to maybe go to the natural here.
Oh, man.
I actually expected him to go to
right now. Look at this.
Yeah. Now the Immortal's out, but it's now out of range of the Marines. We've got the Viking landed down here too.
Yeah, using the force fields against Protoss right there. Does have a couple batteries at his third base, and the Immortal at the natural, so a little bit harder to attack in, but here he goes, gonna try again. Oh my god, ridiculously good mines there, clearing everything. Gonna just stim and get on top of this Immortal and just plow that right down.
And he could even get the Robo if he wants to here. Instead, he's gonna get the other Immortal up here, take that out. And things are beginning to thin out over here on Hurricane's side. We only have Stalkers defending. The Robo's unpowered, and this may be the killing blow.
Yeah, he's forcing those Stalkers way back, starting to unpower some of these buildings as well. Oh, lures him into that stasis ward, which actually might give him a shot with another warping round to push this back.
Maybe. There's reinforcements coming here. Again, we need to get more than just Stalkers here. Probes are now being pulled, more Widow Mines are coming up, and yeah, I think this might be it. Again, there's no more Immortals in this game right now until the Robos repower here. GG, Innovation takes that series in a very Innovation-esque win.
Yeah, all right. Well, that was kind of straightforward, I guess. Just pushes. Hurricane doesn't have any countering going on there.
I got to point out, man, the decision-making there by Innovation with how he pushed was perfect.
Yeah, it was really nice.
He knew when to dive on the Immortals. He knew when to burrow the Widow Mines to get them into a position where you can't quite, cover certain areas. He knew when to back up, and he knew when to go full force. And Hurricane was doing an okay job, but, the first Immortal that comes out, it's so important you keep that alive, and you keep it with other units that can cover it.
Yeah.
There was nothing but that one Immortal.
His split army was not working for him there.
If you don't have force fields or zealots or something, the Immortal can't get away. Anyways, guys, quick break, then Zoun versus Sue. We'll be right back.
상큼한 복숭아가 사이다를 더 청량하게 새로움을 마시다.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
잡아 킬 흐림님 힐 그렇지 나 힐 2.3끈 온다 잡아 바닥 바로
From the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
고고 핫식스
성능을 언제 어디서나 가볍게 즐기다. 지포스 GTX 1650 그래픽 최신 인텔 10세대 프로세서 탑재. 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
Round of 24. Innovation. Hurricane. Zoun. Africa team. Prelude Studio Live. 2020. GSL Season 3. Cody's Last Stand.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be a PvZ up next here. Zoun versus Su. Zoun he's our newest player, right? Out of all the new players.
No, well, not really, to be honest. Like, Prince was probably our newest player.
Never mind.
Zoun was he played like Pro League match way back. Like, this guy was like a pro before and then went to military and everything, but he never made it into GSL until last season. That was his first GSL Codes appearance.
He's definitely an underdog compared to a lot of these other players. Very good.
Yeah.
One thing about GSL is that just under the surface of the top 24 are many really good players that you just don't see that often. And this is one of these moments where he's bubbled up to the top. He's in a GSL, but he's up against Su.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see Su not dominate in the first round of the tournament.
Yeah.
You see the most second places of anyone ever. Yeah, I mean, I definitely expect Su to advance here, but I'm hoping that Zoun brings something a little bit new, a little bit fresh.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it here. We're going to go to Everdream for game one. Again, Protosses are having a hard time against Zerg. We're seeing Protosses try every play in the book to take down Zergs, but some of these Zergs, especially the ones of Su's level, seem to be able to shut it down no matter what. Anyways, game one's loaded up here. We'll be on Everdream. Let's go.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께일 때 우린 더욱 강하다. 알파엑스, 조운, 박한솔. 아프리카 프린스, 수, 어윤수.
So let's see what Zoun is going to be doing this game.
Well, he already forced Su to take the third base.
And this can be, this can be a setup where you try to do a little bit of harass with the Adept and try to slow down.
Adept and Oracle are the two common follow-ups to blocking the hatch, but they don't. It doesn't have to be that.
Right.
Some decent mineral patch harassment here.
In the history of PvZ and Legacy was, Adepts were sort of the control unit to try to slow the Zerg from progressing too much. You didn't have to go for, Adept timings, but they were pretty popular. But it seems like with every passing month, they're getting more and more mapped out. We saw SOS actually do a lot of pretty big brain moves that did not end up panning out well in PvZ, but you could see there was a lot of originality with it. So yeah, I don't know. I think right now in StarCraft 2, there's a little bit of soul searching for how to handle this matchup, how to come out on top and win. Especially, I should say, not just
soul searching. I like it.
Yeah, not just in a game, but in a series.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole reason why we don't do best of ones in this game is because, sure, you could always pull off some trick and beat them, but can you do it multiple times on different maps?
Yeah. StarCraft 2 definitely requires minimum best of 3 to try to figure things out. Best of ones in StarCraft 2 are like silly.
No, there's like no point. You have to have more than one game. So, yeah, I mean, we're basically waiting to see when and if the Protoss players can really have an answer to this matchup that can just stop Zergs over and over and over and over again. Because right now it seems like in the meta there's been survival techniques, if I could call it that, for PvZ, where you can kind of do this against the Zergs now, but the Zergs will catch up. They will figure out how to stop it, and they will continue to dominate.
Well, we've seen more people trying some of the late game Sky Toss type stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'd like to see more of it, to be honest. I think it is doable. I think you can go Sky Toss and have a good late game against Zerg right now. But there's like a wide range. It's almost like a lot of this, there's no normalized way to play Sky Toss against Zerg at the moment, in my opinion. Like, every time we see Sky Toss, it's kind of like watching Terran Mech against Protoss, where everyone's got their own flavor, and it's like not really mapped out. So if you're playing against it, you're like, well, I don't know. He could make any of the 3 air units, and like, we don't know what's going to be underneath them. Is there going to be a mothership? There's all these questions. So it's not really super duper mapped out. Look at this though. Oh my God. Before I go any further, we have the support bay, man.
Yeah, so this is another different type of approach to this matchup. And this is Zoun saying, all right, here's my take. I'm going to get a Disruptor right away. Kind of looks like one of these StarCraft 1 quick Reaver drop builds.
Yeah. Speed Disruptor drops are kind of neat. We normally see them transition into like a Colossus timing attack with a bunch of gateway units, so we'll see if that's what he goes for. But this is the type of thing I want to see out of Zoun if he's going to have a chance to actually beat Su.
Yeah, I was more worried we just see Glaive to Debs to get stopped than he loses. So this is much better.
Yeah, you want to have it be something that they don't play against quite as much.
Oh, man, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, that
might lose that before the War Prism speed finishes. So a pretty modest harass starting the game out. And the War Prism's headed back now. But I think with the Disruptor coming out, that's where we're going to see how much damage this can do. But with the War Prism at a little bit under half health, you've got to be very careful, because this is one of these strats where if you just lose the War Prism, especially with the Disruptor and the Immortal inside of it, like when you're trying to get away, for instance, you're probably just going to lose the game.
Oh, yes. You cannot lose that. Let's see what this does, though, right? He has his speed upgrade done, so he should not lose it. You have to really dive to lose this.
Oh! That actually could have been so much better.
Yeah, it was a decent split there by Su, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really well done. I thought that was going to connect on all the lanes. Very cool.
Colossus being made at home right now. Sentry's being added in as well. So definitely Zoun is looking towards that timing attack we were talking about. Needs to get a little bit more done with these Disruptors, though, right?
Yeah, they're coming through now. And you're kind of seeing that trying to harass with these units can always be a little bit clunky.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things, and this is modeled off of StarCraft 1 Reaver drops, by the way, but the thing about the Reavers, you can fire the Scarab and then pick it up and get out.
Yeah, that's a good
As
point.
the Scarab is traveling.
Yeah.
With this, the Disruptor has to be on the ground at the same time the shot is coming out. And so it's a little bit harder to kind of pull off.
To be fair, they don't dud, right? So that's something.
Yeah, the StarCraft 1 one's dud all the time.
Okay, let's see how this push goes. I mean, it's a pretty strong little unit composition that we see, right?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, with the 2 Disruptors, we got to really watch and see where those shots land. The 1 Colossus is going to make it hard for the Zerg to try to hold any fight here. Guardian Shield's down. Here we go. Corrosive Biles connecting with some of the targets here. Now, Lings are going to come in here from behind. We just have a shot of this in the bottom left corner of the screen. And so he's going to hit from every side right now.
Oh, he needs to set off a Disruptor shot here. Those should be recharged. Okay, there they are. It just come off of the cooldown. Okay, decent hit.
Nice connects there. The Colossus is still alive. I got to say, Zoun is doing about as good as a job as you can in a moment like this. The Immortal's still in the game.
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to break Zoo here? I think he might.
He very well might. I mean, this is great. As long as he continues to warp in and hits a couple more Disruptor shots, I think he's very close to breaking him now.
Colossus still in play right now at about 1/3 of its HP.
Oh, got to keep that alive. Micros it back from that Spore. All right, another. Ooh, okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Just right on the Morphine Ravager. He tries to come in, maybe get on top of the Colossus, but another Disruptor shot connects.
Okay, the Colossus almost dead right now. Drone's being pulled. That's when you know Sue is really scared.
God, Colossus won't die!
No.
Okay, finally, actually losing it to a Bile shot here. But again, an Immortal at full health. Drone's being gunned down, 9 so far.
Yeah, crazy damage being put out at the moment.
I think Zoun's going to win.
Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. The Drone's fighting once again, losing a lot of them here.
Queens are continuing to be picked off here. More Stalkers coming in. The Warp Prism advancing to warp in a little bit more quickly. Got to be careful. I guess there's not actually enough Ravagers to ever take out the Warp Prism, so he's going to be fine.
You got to be careful with the Ravagers, too, because those are prime targets for the Disruptors.
Yeah, they cannot get away from Disruptor shots if the Protoss player controls correctly. Now Overlords are being picked off, and
oh, he saw so much.
I think that this game should be over unless Zoun really miscontrols. I just don't imagine this being a win. You know, I mean, I don't see how Zerg comes back from this.
Yeah, it's very, very tough. Like, he needs to kill the army, first up. Zoun doesn't have a lot going on at home, right? But
GG.
Definitely
that was
not needed.
That was a good strat.
Yeah, no, that was.
I really like what we saw there.
It's good. It's a cool strat to mix in, right? Because you have that early harassment that could do something, and the thing is, you want the Disruptors with the army. The Colossus does a good job of kind of countering Zerglings, right? And then the Disruptors are good against Roaches, Queens, and Ravagers. So it just the strategy fits together neatly. The one thing that is happening is you don't have any upgrades.
Right.
So, like, if the push doesn't work, you're done.
Yeah,
like,
if the push is stopped, you're back knocked into the Stone Age there.
You lose all your technicality, and that's it.
That was a great play there. A very strong push, not having to try to hinge a strategy on Adepts catching drones early on. I think that's just too much of an old way to play the game. Zoun has Immortals to Adepts, and then the double Disruptor to set up for a push. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen now in Eternal Empire, which is loaded up just now.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 알파 X 조운 박한솔. 아프리카 프린스 수 어윤수.
Okay. Bit later scout here, so not really looking to block any hatchery.
I don't feel like Zoun can do the same build again.
No, you can't do that twice.
Yeah, and I want to unpack that a little bit because that can be kind of confusing. Like if you watch Innovation's games like the ones he just played even, he sort of did the same build over and over and pushed it in one.
Yeah.
The Protoss push is totally different.
Yeah, Protoss just in general against Zerg right now can't do the same thing every game.
Yeah, you can't push and progress your development like back at home, like upgrades in tech.
Yes.
It seems like Protoss have to turtle in tech.
Yeah, if there's ever a build that doesn't transition into later game things that it is good to do many times in a row, that means that the game is in a broken state, basically.
Right.
Because your opponent should be able to fight off things and kind of push things back, push the game forward, right? That's normal StarCraft. It's kind of like a tennis volley, right? Where it's like, okay, you're making moves at each other, but it keeps going back and forth, back and forth. You know, like, oh, now I have this, and you're like, okay, well, now I'll get this, and then they're like, well, now I have to get this. And so, yeah, if you have a strat like that one we just saw, where you're like, okay, I get 5 technical units and spam gateway units, I have no forge, I have no twilight, I'm only on 2 bases with 45 probes the entire game. Yeah, that's not something that you can really do multiple times.
Yeah.
And if it, like I was saying, if it was, it would be because it's like really broken. Like back, remember the Soul Train?
I was about to bring this up. I was waiting for you to finish and say this.
That was like a broken Protoss strategy. That was like parting one like every. He went like 50-0 or something. I don't remember what the stats were, but he won every game with it.
The attack is going to come, and there's almost nothing you can do to stop it. And if he controls it perfectly, you just get toppled.
Yeah, so that's a broken situation. This build that we saw from Zoun, absolutely not a broken situation. It's a cool thing to mix in.
Yeah. And so, for this game, we do have the Robo coming down here again. I would imagine, and I mean, I might be wrong, but I would imagine there's probably different variants of this build or different ideas that can be done. You know, you can, it's not so straightforward as I'm just going to do this kind of time and attack and do a push with it. You know, there's a lot of different setups there. For instance, in that last one we saw, you get the disruptors out. If you can connect on some drones, or let's say kill a queen or anything, right? To kill the units that are trying to defend, you're only going to reinforce how strong your push is later. And, you know, there really is a balancing act. It can look very easy for the Zergs if you're just watching and you don't have the experience of trying to do the drone balance while still holding off attacks. But you make a few small mistakes in a small period of time, and you can lose the game. Now, in this game, we have Adept Glaives coming.
Yeah.
So it opens up with a Robo and a Warp Prism coming, but behind it is going to be more of the classical approach to this matchup, which was the Adept.
Yeah, this would be the more standard thing right now, and especially popular earlier in the year. But there's a lot of follow-ups to it. There's a lot of different ways you can play this. You can go more gates. The amount of adepts you make is up in the air. You can go for sentries and immortals behind with more gases for a 2-base timing push. You can go into a dark shrine to try to slip in dark Templars. You can just go into a macro game on a 3rd base. So there's a lot to it that you have to decide about. And we'll see what Zoun is going to do, because at the beginning of the build order is pretty straightforward. You can't really tell. Okay, he adds 2 gases. So this looks like it will probably be a 2-base timing push.
Yeah, and actually a great save there by Sue. Transfusing at the last second. Glaives is canceled. Another warp in here. He's got to be careful. The Queens actually could start to hit the warp prism at this distance.
Yeah, that's what he's going for. He just wants to shut this down immediately instead.
Zhao with some great control, by the way.
Yeah, that was very, very nice.
That juggle was sick. And now these Queens can't quite get back here as quickly. I was going to say, if I was Zhao, I'd finish that shade. Now you can pick your fights pretty nicely here. You take the Lings out. He's going to shade again. Dive on the drones. Hey, this is going really well. Sue might actually get killed here.
Yeah, it actually looks like he's going to.
Yeah.
This is very good for Zoun.
Great play. And 3 adepts over here, so he can one-shot drones there.
Oh my gosh, and behind this, he is actually going up into the support base. So we could see Disruptors again, we could see Colossus, and he's just doing so much damage. Whichever one he does is going to be a very strong follow-up.
Yeah, nothing even mining over here at the 3rd base. Oh wow, drones not even fully pulled away here, so a dozen drones have been killed, and it appears that Zhao is far from finished. More adepts are warping in. I believe the Warp Prism is heading back home to pick up the Disruptor. Also, Warp Prism speed's being upgraded.
Yeah. Prism speed plus disruptors coming out again. So definitely looks like something that he enjoys, but getting into it in a completely different way. Normally you're not wanting to fight against adepts with Lings, right? So if you know that they're going to go into Roach Ravager, disruptors become quite good against that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool, novel way to approach this.
Willie commit over here. Oh, I like this. Just having the 2 adepts come in, that's enough to at least kill 2 drones. In this case, actually 3. That way you're not losing the bulk of your adepts, but you're still killing drones. You're still keeping the Zerg under the pressure to produce drones, remaking drones basically over making any kind of fighting units. Now this is really important down here because this counterattack is denying the 3rd base.
That's great. Stuff like that is so underrated. Like that Nexus, that was a lot of build time invested, and now he has to just restart it. Definitely not what Zoun wants to be seeing there, but good move from Su. Now the Speed Prism going across the map, full health, 2 disruptors.
Yeah.
See what he gets done.
Oh man, this shot is so good! Takes out 6 drones and gets out unscathed. And
really
from here,
nice.
Yeah, from here the War Prism can meet up with a push, or I guess not. It's actually okay, yeah, it is. And then we got to see if Zerg can actually survive because right now Zoun is coming here with these really advanced pushes, these really cool strats. And so far, I mean, a player like Su is struggling to adapt.
This is really interesting the way he's playing this. Oh my god!
Oh, so good.
Sick disruptor hit. The unit's kind of coming over to fight against the Adepts, so he just drops off the disruptors. Look at that, 3 more roaches got in. Great control, nice multitasking here.
This is some of the best disruptor play we've seen, particularly with a War Prism here.
Yeah, it really actually is. It really is. Zoun is getting me all excited here.
Yeah.
This is very cool stuff.
It's looking like the classic kind of a Dragoon Reaver push here, but really so effective. Again, coming through here, at this point in time, you take whatever you can get. And more drones, it's going to be 4 more drones killed off.
Dude, Su's drones don't look good, his army doesn't look good, his upgrades don't look good.
And keep in mind, though, this is different from Game 1, in that the Protoss is trying to take a 3rd and develop. The goal is not to push and kill the Zerg here. I mean, if you do get some insane disruptor hits and you could take the win, then do it. But really what he's doing is he's keeping Zerg squished. Zerg cannot get out of his base. Drones are constantly being killed.
Yeah, and look at this, just continues to throw down that damage as well. He's keeping Su a bit busy.
What I love about this is the fact that these areas that are hard for Protoss to push through, you know, because the Zerg can just stay on the other side of this very narrow bottleneck. He's using that with the disruptors.
Yeah.
So he has the disruptor on the other side, and suddenly the Zerg can't come over there and target down the disruptor. There's just nothing you can do. And so he's just taking a beating.
Yeah, he's chosen his strategy very well for the map, too. That's definitely a big part of it, right? If you try to go through that, he's just going to get a better disruptor hit. Now, Zoun looks like he's ready to move out. Looks like he's going to head towards that 4th base. His army actually just split up, but luckily for him, Su is not at all on the map. Dude, this push, I think he's going to kill Su.
Yeah, I think this...
Fairly sure.
This is set up beautifully, too. It's as the 4th is being taken. If the Zerg cancels, it's bad. If the 4th is killed, it's even worse. I mean, let's see how he does. As the units retreat, they do bunch up a little bit. One disruptor shot connects well, the other misses. But with 2 Colossi here, it's just going to be very hard to hold your ground here. It seems like there's more Protoss units than there are Zerg units right now in this fight.
Yeah, and it's almost all roaches over on Su's side. More Stalkers get warped in. Blink is done here. Baneling speed is on the way, but it doesn't matter because we don't have any Banelings yet. And another disruptor shot. Decent dodging from Su, but already a lot of damage has been done.
Yeah, and although these roaches can soak quite a bit, they're starting to disappear pretty quickly here every time the Colossus spray this down. And now we have a blink in over here. The Banelings trying it from behind do not really connect with their targets. And I think this is going to be a march to victory here from Zoun.
Definitely looks that way right now. It looks like is Zoun going up towards his 3rd base, so it's a little bit of a, oh my god. Oh, that hit, that disruptor hit.
I love what we're seeing here from Zoun, this really novel approach to the matchup. Disruptor harass into Colossus Disruptor, push for the win.
Zoun very happy with himself, taking a 2-0 over Su and moving on to that winner's match. Not really expected, but An amazing result.
Yeah, really impressive stuff. And he is not hiding his excitement. Sue definitely going to be salty from that. We're going to have to see how Sue does in the losers match, but this is just a real plot twist in the day. I thought, frankly, it was going to be Sue smashing Zoun, and then we have maybe our best match of the day, which is Innovation versus Sue, and then we kind of find out how our other two lower-ranked players are doing. But Zoun, he beat a player of Sue's caliber, and he did it with style and novelty. Quick break, guys. Up next, Zoun versus Innovation. We'll be right back.
상큼한 복숭아가 사이다를 더 청량하게 새로움을 마시다.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
잡아 킬 흐림님 힐 그렇지 나 힐 2점 수리끈 온다 잡아 바닥 바로
From the beginning. Hit it, boys.
고고! 핫식스!
성능을 언제 어디서나 가볍게 즐기다. 지포스 GTX 1650 그래픽 최신 인텔 10세대 프로세서 탑재. 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
야, 우리 진짜 한 판만 더 이기면 돼.
야 그럼 나 화장실 좀 갔다 올게.
야, 어디가?
금방 와.
자, 이 정도. 20여 명의 학생들이 컴퓨터 게임에 몰입하고 있는 또 다른 PC방. PC방의 전원을 꺼보겠습니다.
From the beginning. Hit it, boys.
고고! 핫식스!
싱그러운 청귤이 사이다를 더 청량하게 새로움을 마시다.
성능을 대용량 배터리로 언제 어디서나 더 오래 즐기다. 72Wh 대용량 배터리, 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어. 듀얼 메모리, 듀얼 저장 장치, 고성능을 듀얼 업그레이드로 더 오랜 기간 즐기다.
거기 들어와. 그 밑에 걔 잡고. 나이스. 자, 됐어.
미안해, 로나. 화났어?
미안해. 내가 해줄게.
아, 잠깐 내가 누르면 안 돼. 누르면 안 돼, 지금. 자, 교편한데 무슨 소리야?
좋은 시간 되세요.
From the beginning. Hit it, boys.
고고! 핫식스!
여기 열었습니다.
이상한데? 그렇게 작아.
너무 안 보이는데?
보이지가 않잖아. 이거 쓸 수가
아니
없는데?
저거 키워보라고.
성능 17 대화면으로 언제 어디서나 더 크게 즐기다. WQXGA 초고화 질의 17 대화면 16:10 최적의 화면비. 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어.
라면이요.
자 이게 좀만 들어주세요.
나왔습니다.
잠깐만 들어주세요. 잠깐. 빨리 나와요 이거.
음료 나왔습니다.
From the beginning.
고고! 핫식스!
Pack hits.
And
Oh, Zelt's getting caught off guard.
yeah, he'd actually send his sentries home for some reason. Then he just decided to send his ults up here. This is not smart.
Just running up the middle. What are these infestors doing,
They
man?
want to walk into a photon cannon and high Templar
They're gonna
again.
cast down a bunch of temps. He's gonna try and snipe the Nexus with Terrans.
Yeah, but there are storms.
Oh, but there's storms, so.
Well, this game just changed really quickly.
Wow.
That was a
Three
huge
DTs coming in.
Oh, can he target the Spire?
Oh, he might if he sees it. Overseer morphs, but he's gonna be a little while. He's targeting the Queen. Or I don't know what he's doing actually. He needs to focus. He should focus that Spire actually. Oh, a fungal, but there's the storm drop killing a ton of drones! And here's a Baneling drop though. He's gonna drop the drop the third. No, that's the fourth. Baneling's drop out, slaughtering probes.
Every probe goes down except 2 gas probes.
Can't get anywhere close enough to feedback.
Look at how many broodlings there are.
There's like a ton of broodlings, but JYP takes out Donrigu's third. Donrigu is barely mined right now. We are seeing a base trade situation, but here comes the Void Rays. Colossi killing things. The Void Rays are coming in, and I don't know where his investors are. There they are, coming up. Are the Void Rays going to be able to deal with this?
He's going to have to go back, but he's trapped. He's fumbled.
Oh, he fumbles him. The infested Terrans pop out. The fumble. Void Rays can't escape. They kill them all.
The bottom base, and Donrigu has turned around, but he has enough Broodlords to clean up this army, most likely. If he cleans up the army, he can counterattack again and probably end the game, but JYP is mining right now. He's continuing to make Void Rays. This is actually a pretty close game, Moltrap. To engage, and here we go!
Donrigu can still kill this if he can. He loses one infestor, 2 infestors. He blinks forward, he's going for the infestors. This is the only thing that can deal with these Void Rays. And I think there's just not enough infestors to deal with the Void Rays.
I think this is going to be it. He's going to be able to target down these Broodlords. Sure, he's going to lose all his Colossi, but it doesn't matter.
GG! JYP comes back and takes game 2 in spectacular fashion.
Okay, they are. Here we go, and Clyde actually getting his units back into a bad spot. But really good EMP. Is the Vikings going to work on the Colossi? This is looking really good for Clyde.
Great spread for Clyde, huge concave, and he is going to absolutely own this army of Creator. This is where Creator kind of suffers a little bit, is in his engagement timings. And here we go, he's paying for it now. EMP doesn't really hit a whole lot, but a lot of Zelts have lost some shields.
The better upgrades are really coming into play here, though. The Zealots are just tearing through everything.
Clyde got a bit too aggressive.
Now some naked drop ships are going to be taken out.
The Vikings need to lift.
He needs to get those medevacs out of here. He's going to try to win this fight, but I don't think this is the right choice. Now Creator has taken a supply lead, and he has secured a 4th base meanwhile during this.
Oh, wow, Clyde. He certainly could. Wow, Clyde, I can't believe he pushed right after that.
And this is looking pretty good for Creator, but Clyde will be able to hold this. But for how long?
Well, he's losing a lot of SCVs, especially to the Archons here, so despite the nice micro from Clyde, he's just not going to have any economy when this is done. For Creator, oh no, and these units are going to get trapped out of position here.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to retreat. Nice EMP, but the Colossus is going to do too much. GG!
And Creator Prime taking down Clyde Burns himself, giving some new life to Prime.
Yeah, man, things just suddenly got a lot more interesting.
We're not done quite yet.
A lot of this game is going to be about his opponent trying to find him out of position. But here we go. Blue Flame Hellions against Marines and a Marauder.
Stim.
The Marauder. Oh, huge flank by MMA. Most of the minerals gone, though, so that did a lot of what it was meant to. And look at this. MMA out of position. He's got to be careful, though. MVP cannot be losing all these Hellions. He needs them to soak up damage and deal it to the Marines. MVP's units are way more cost efficient, but not if they're not Siege. A beautiful catch right there, flanking with Marauders. MVP way out of position.
Oh my God. The tank count getting so drastically reduced here. The Vikings are landing, but there are more Marauders over there.
And he's going to be counterattacking as well. He's got to be careful here. Oh my God, he's going to catch so many of these siege tanks. Beautiful spreads by MMA, taking them out.
The money right now is, oh, never mind, GG. We have another win here for MMA. Oh my God, he's moving in. And Void Rays to attack the Vikings, end up attacking the Void Rays instead.
Well, he's going to target down the Quasi, and he's doing that. He has a lot of Vikings this time, but the Quasi still doing a ton of damage to these units. So many Stalkers are right now. One Quasi left.
All right, oh my God!
Man. That is a recall right there into the main base of MVP, but these battle cruisers should be able to deal with this. How many items does he have? Yes, 4.
Feedback and Storm!
Absolutely crazy, and now MVP comes with all his units, lifting things off. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. But no Archons. Where's his Archons? He needs to get those in there.
He cut down the Archons before it was time.
And the Void Rays come out. An Archon goes in. Another Archon goes in. Get in there. Oh my God. What are we seeing? Like that's going to be it.
He seems to scratch his head. I think he might punch out GG here. We're going to see.
I bet you MVP's pretty surprised. GG.
Oh my God.
Insane.
Oh my God.
Holy
God.
Round of 24. Innovation. Hurricane. Zoun. Africa team, Prego Studio Live. 2020 GSL Season 3. Code S. Last Stand.
Welcome back to GSL Code S. We've got a match that I personally am really excited about. Zoun came in here with his own approach to a matchup that I think everybody can agree this is the hardest of the matchups right now. Is Protoss versus Zerg. But Zoun showed everybody a new way, a way to win, a way to come out on top.
He played really well. The thing that strikes me is that just looking at everyone's play, not considering matchups and everything, the smoothest play today has actually been from Zoun.
Yeah.
His builds fit together very well. He had little things that he put in, like the shield battery I noticed that he made at his front door that the Stalker was guarding as he was moving out, because a lot of times people link counterattack, make you warp into depths there and stuff. His control was really clean the whole time. His macro, his micro, he just looks completely on top of it today.
Yeah, he looks to be in incredible form. Let's see how he does against Innovation. We're going to go to the map Submarine for Game 1. The winner moves on to the round of 16. Let's go.
전투 지원이 들어와. 함께 우린 더욱 강하다. 알파 X 좋은 박한수. 카이즈 게임 이노베이션 이신영.
quick reminder here for everybody watching. We have an unusual schedule today. We actually also have ASL tonight. So we're going to finish this broadcast. We'll be going to the other studio that we work out of over in Jamshil. And if you're watching live, the YouTube channel you're watching this on now, it's going to be on the same channel later on today. So you don't have to go away. I don't know what time zone you're in, but we never have ASL on Saturday nights, but we've got a lot of esports we're cranking through here out of the two studios, and so we had to squeeze one in today. So if you're someone who just watches StarCraft 2, I promise you can enjoy StarCraft 1. Same way, vice versa. So join us.
Yeah. And that being said, we also have ASL tomorrow night. GSL on Wednesday is going to start an hour and a half earlier because we have group selection afterwards.
That's right.
So a lot of little schedule changes.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for this match. I actually think Zoun is going to win. Just based on the games that we've seen today. Like, I think there's a lot to be said when someone's just, everything is moving correctly, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of the hard part, is like, within StarCraft, like just making sure that you're macroing well, you're microing well, you're hitting all the little details, your strategies are cohesive, you know, you're making the right decisions mid-battle and all these things, and we've seen that very well from him. Whereas with Innovation, it's like, yeah, he's kind of smashed Hurricane Game 3, he beat him pretty handily Game 1, and then Game 2, like, just died to a warp in, so I'm like, I don't know, it's like, I mean, yeah, your Innovation, you're really good, but at the same time, the way that Zoun was prepped for Sue, like, that was really good prepping, man. That was some of the best, cleanest PvZ that we have seen in GSL this year.
Yeah, he completely disarmed the Zerg.
Yeah. The only Protoss, that series to me, the only Protoss in Korea that has looked better, in my opinion, is Trap. That was just such a clean series.
Yeah, I mean, he came in there so ready. And taking out Sue, man, that's like taking down a Rhino. I mean, it's he is hard to beat. He's hard to ever get control of. I mean, I don't think I can recall a game like that at least in my memory, of Sue just dying the way that he did. And now that we're in this game, I'm even more excited because we have a Void Ray being made.
Yeah, I don't even know. This isn't a proxy Void Ray. It's just straight up a Void Ray.
I think it's my birthday.
Dude, what is
it?
This?
Must be my birthday.
I mean,
but how much older am I going to be getting if Zoun keeps playing in GSL? How many birthdays do I get to have? Am I going to get to be the oldest man in the world?
You might.
Yeah.
You might die before then. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it could be.
A second Void Ray? What are we doing?
Okay, so where does the first one go? Does he hide it? Does he show it?
It's looking for drops.
Okay.
Okay, so that's just a patrol to stop anything coming into his base. A Void Ray will kill a boosted medevac before it can get away. So.
And then Glaive's behind it.
Okay. This is really, he's got his own stuff.
So the Terran hasn't seen the Void Ray yet. And keep in mind, normally, when Stargate Tech is made, you would have, he didn't scout the Stargate, right? He never saw that, right?
I believe he did not see it.
So normally you would have seen an Oracle or a Phoenix by now. So right now he's probably assuming there's no Stargate. And there's a third Void Ray!
Dude, okay.
Get your Void Ray punch cards out!
Here's what I think we're going to see. It's going to be an Adept all-in where the Void Rays kill the bunkers and siege tanks.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And that's exactly, yeah, like, I can't imagine it being anything else because neither of these units scale at all.
Wait, is he not going to see this? He's like, I'll just not scout the Void Rays.
That's what he's thinking right now.
Yeah. I'll get wrecked. Whoa!
Now Innovation has to look at that and be like, what is up?
So does he get a fourth Void Ray? It looks like this is set up so that the 3 Void Rays can get across the map. The Adepts that have already been made will get there. They'll meet up with the Proxy, Pylon, and Gateway.
Yeah.
That Gateway acts as an accelerant for Warpins.
There's no tanks. There's one bunker.
Yeah, I feel like
I think Zoun is going to kill him. Pretty sure.
I don't know what to say. There's one Cyclone here.
He killed his own bunker. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
Here we go. Now will the Widowmines connect onto the Void Rays? They do, but do not die.
Yeah, it does not even matter there. He's going to take out Medivacs. He's going to kill everything.
Oh
He's
my
just
God.
wrecking.
Down!
Wow.
Down!
Pretty sick. Pretty sick.
Look at this guy.
We got new Protoss on the block right now.
He's the guy now.
Is he the guy already?
He's already the guy that everybody wants to be.
Damn. I thought that was Zest.
Guys want to be him, and girls want to be with him.
All right.
Maybe the girls want to be him, too. Maybe the guys want to be with him. I don't know.
All of the above.
All of them.
All of them,
man.
with builds like these. Set 2, Ever Dream. Can he just cleanly get out of this group 4-0 tasteless?
Let's do it.
Probably.
Will he use Void Rays again?
No.
I'm guessing no.
He's not going to use
but
that building.
no, Artosis, we can believe.
Yeah? You want Void Rays
Artosis is the guy telling everybody there's no Santa Claus. You can't do that. You got to believe in Santa Claus. Don't you want to believe in Santa Claus, Artosis?
I know that he's real.
Yeah.
Maybe proxy Void Ray all, and I'd love that.
Oh, yeah. Christmas comes early. It's Christmas and
your
my birthday.
and Christmas. Wow, that's a terrible time to have your birthday. I'm so sorry.
It is. I have some friends that have that. You get half the presents you normally get. Everdream has loaded up. Zoun versus Innovation. Let's see what happens.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 알파 X 조운 박한솔. 카이즈 게임 이노베이션 이신영.
You like the capitalizations? Innovation's name?
I
think they're super alpha.
Super alpha?
Yeah.
Do you?
I think it's alpha dog.
Yeah?
Yeah. Letterization.
Okay. It's all right. I've gotten used to it over the years. The name is too long is the problem.
Oh, you don't like it?
Innovation. Don't you think innovation needs a few more letters in it? LOL.
Put an LY at the end.
Innovationally.
Innovationally.
Well,
Innovation.
Then it could be. Then it could be the newest app that's worth $1 billion that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It does a third of some other app.
I think the best one he could do is make it Innovationator.
Okay.
So, what is Zoun gonna do here? I don't know, man. That play. So what does Terran want to do? Like, let's say that you knew that was coming. Like someone whispered in your ear, he's gonna make 3 Void Rays. You just
need
get
bunkers. You need
turrets, and you're fine.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
And
if you have a wall and the Adepts can't just get in the main, the Void Rays can be...
Because there's zero scaling, so like you can lose a bunch of SCVs repairing that stuff, but you look at what Protoss has, and they have like Glaives and a Stargate.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's nothing at home. There's no units. There's no Forge. Blink and Charge aren't done. There's no Robo for splash damage either.
Right.
It's just total garbo. Like what you have scales into nothing at all. So as Terran upgrades finish and stuff, they will kill you. So it's definitely an all-in that we saw. A very cool one. I definitely had a lot of fun watching that one. Ooh, a Stargate. And the Stargate. Now the Stargate is after 2 Adepts and Warp Gate. So this is not a Stargate for an Oracle. I think we're going to see something weird here. We might even see the same build.
I guess we're not going to see it, but...
He might just decide that Innovation won't know how to kill it yet. Because you ask me how to kill it, I tell you what I think will kill it. I'm fairly certain, but I don't know the exact numbers of everything that you need, right? Because I haven't seen this. Now, Innovation may have never seen this before, and he's like, he's not going to know you need 3 turrets or something like that. You know what I mean?
Maybe there's a lot of nuance on where the turrets have to be. Like if they misplace at a certain spot, you go, oh, we can just go around this.
This is even more layers. It is an Oracle.
I was wondering if there was a chance that we'd have a Sentry made and then a hallucinated Void Ray just thrown out there. Like how can you build a whole meta around this?
Now
there's a Hellion coming around, and the entrance is not corked. Oh, and there's a Reaper as well.
Yeah, he wanted to do that bounce.
Yeah.
Doesn't need it. Well, the Oracle, I guess, can come and fight. All right, Shade's in with the 3 Adepts, so he's actually going to get a lot of damage done here himself.
These have not been killed off yet. So both sides are trading blows here.
Pretty similar amounts of damage.
Yeah, I guess everything is sort of evened out here.
I would say that that was better for Innovation overall. He knows that there's an Oracle out. The Oracle had to play defense.
Well, I think not just that, but the Reaper and the Hellion are much more expendable.
Yeah, yeah.
The Adepts are, I mean, depending on what kind of game this is, and I think we're going to have Glaives again here. You know, the Adepts do add up. They give you a lot more power when you get enough out.
You know, when I mentioned about the Oracle, basically, normally when you get something like an Oracle, you just want it to get in as early as possible because damage earlier is more important. They have less defenses, and it scales better, that damage, right? The earlier you kill the SCV, the better. I've never seen a game like this where it was just like a casual Stargate into one Oracle. It was a casual Stargate. That was not a pro gamer Stargate, right? Like if I was like just watching and someone showed me that timing of the Oracle and they're like, what league do you think this guy's in? Like, I don't know, gold or something?
Yeah.
You know, because like that, why would you get an Oracle right there and then? And the thing is, it defended for him and now he's tagging with it, so it's like, okay. I mean, you can do things that are not completely on meta and it can be fine.
Yeah.
If you know how to deal with it, like if you practice it some. I'm just saying, it's very different, that is on brand for Zoun tonight.
By the way, good catch there. The Oracle can probably do a lot more without the threat of the Cyclone there.
Yeah, that's true.
So Stim is coming here. Terran's continuing to power up. They'll be able to be on the map a little bit later here. We do have one Forge coming down. And a little bit of a later blink than normal here, but I like what Zoun's doing here.
It's looking good.
He's got a little bit of a different pacing compared to the PBTs we're used to casting.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You want to change up speeds, right? You want to have things come at slightly different times and stuff to throw your opponent off. That's for sure. If you get into a complete rhythm, then your opponent's going to be able to read that and know what's happening. But he's kind of dictating the games, right?
Yeah.
And everything coming at different times and in kind of weird timings, that can throw you off as Innovation. It's like, what is he up to?
Okay. There's a medevac that's going up north, and I don't believe it's going to be spotted here. The main army is being tracked pretty well here. The tag continuation goes on.
So he's gone up to a lot of gates. He's getting charged and +1 attack, and he does have a proxy pylon.
Yep.
So I wonder, right? Like, the Oracle definitely seems like it is... Oh, my God, he's going to catch this Raven.
Okay, this is big. Actually, I think it might... No, okay, he does get it. That's actually really big. Consider
really
that no probes were killed, and there's not going to be a disable, which would probably help out a lot. Let's say there's an Immortal out. Oh, no.
Well, he loses that. But you know what? The amount of tags he's had, you can definitely see differences between Zoun's and Hurricane's play overall, right? Like,
for sure.
He's keeping track of where Innovation is, like, at all times. He really knows where the army is at. I like it so much. I really like this play that we're seeing.
Well, I'm loving how novel the approach is here from Zoun, where I think a lot of the other plays we've had for Protoss players are kind of weird carbon copies of strats that don't work. Now the tag is worn off, but the observer should be able to spot this. Okay. Is Zoun going to be able to scramble into position here? Seems like, with Innovation seeing the edge of the observer before it went out of the scan vision, thinks twice about trying to come in again.
You know what? Innovation might push forward here. He's just flew by an on-location third. Yeah, he's warping in up there. That could be harassment, though. Let's see what he does with those 3 Zots.
The medevac is marooned over here on the side of that mountain. Can't come in without getting shot down by stalkers. But those are stalkers that are not going to be with the main army. So it does have a function there. Somehow these Widow Mines were not shot down.
No real targeting going on there.
Yeah.
Busy elsewhere.
Okay, here we go. This is a serious wall of infantry here.
Yeah, it's quite a few units. And, I mean, the mines go in. He doesn't have that many Zealots here right now.
Yeah, I don't see any Robotech to try to help fight this. I don't even see any Archons here or anything. This is just like a better army from Innovation that I think is going to... Is this just going to end the game? I mean, I don't...
Well, he unpowers some important buildings over here.
Well, there won't be any Immortals for a while now, not until that Robo is powered again.
Yeah, and without a battery at the natural, he is just losing terribly on that front. This side over near his third, he's doing okay on, though.
Yeah, I don't know about this, man.
Oh,
wow,
boy.
this is going to be pretty painful. 21 dead probes now.
Yeah, Innovation smashing. That's it.
You know, what Zoun was doing was pretty cool until you realize it's not going to work against the basic Terran army. Like, you and I were gushing over him.
Yeah,
but then the army comes out, it's like, oh, you don't have Colossus? You just started an Immortal. You don't have Storm. You don't have an arc. I mean, there's nothing that packs a punch against infantry. It's Zealots, Sentries, and Stalkers against Stim Marine Marauder.
Yeah,
in an open area.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But still, there was a lot of freshness to what he did there. It didn't work out that time.
Yeah.
I guess we just go on to the map 3 and see what Zoun has for us now. He's so great, he's even given us a game 3 against Innovation, what we really wanted.
Thank you, Zoun.
Yeah.
You generous god, you. Well, does Zoun have any more tricks up his sleeve? So far, he's had a pretty much completely alternative approach to both matchups. Let's see if it's enough to take on Innovation, a 3-time GSL champion.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 알파의 조 박한수. 카이트 게임 이노베이션 이신영.
I am so pleasantly surprised by how innovative Zoun's approach has been.
Yeah.
Like, this is so cool. I love the Void Ray Adept all in. I love the way that he approached Zerg, getting mid-game disruptors, and then taking advantage of these turtle-ish areas on the map that usually Protoss can't break, and taking advantage of it by using that as cover for the disruptors to chuck shots in there and chisel down the army. And even the game that Zoun lost, he seemed to have a very different way of handling it. I mean, it's funny because he kind of lost in about as straightforward of a fashion as you can lose, you know, where the infantry just get there and
There's
you
no
lose the fight.
fanciness there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, let's see what else Zoun has.
Well,
and if it has Void Rays in it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I don't think we'll see the Void Ray thing twice. This would be a worse map for it too, I would say, to go up the ramp. But we'll see. We'll see. It's been surprising us a lot here today. I really want him to get out of the group right now, but then that means either Innovation or Sue doesn't get out, which is kind of messed up. You know?
No.
Yes!
It's fine.
Round of 16 without Innovation or Sue? That
Look
doesn't
at
even make
you,
sense.
the establishment caster.
That's right, yeah.
No, man, I'm chaos caster over here. Let's cause a crazy upset. Look, if we could get more Zoun games, I welcome it.
Okay, I understand that point of view.
So, Reaver comes in. We're waiting to see this, Reaper, excuse me, not Reaver. Reaper comes in. We're waiting to see what other tech Zoun's gonna have. There it is, Stargate.
Yeah, it's just the kind of later Stargate again. Okay, cool. Cool.
Does he have a different iteration of that same build as before? Does he have some kind of all-in?
I think it's going to be the Oracle again, and I think he's going to move out with three Adepts again.
So maybe he's made some adjustments already in his build order where he's going to be safer against Innovation. And one thing about Innovation is he tends to not radically change what he's doing from game to game.
Yeah, no, he's even making the Hellions, so you're definitely right about that.
Yeah.
Let's see here momentarily. I mean, you definitely, let's say it's exactly the same as last game. Oh, he's making a Phoenix this time. So we're getting every Stargate unit out of this guy.
Wow. Stargate Man.
Stargate Man. All right, the Phoenix. An interesting change. I mean, Phoenix openers, there's nothing wrong with them.
So how many more Phoenixes does he want? Or is there change? Okay, so the second Phoenix is being made.
Well, you generally always want, you know, at least 2 Phoenixes, because, like, what's the sound of one hand clapping? The same thing as one Phoenix lifting, right?
Lifting, yeah.
Just lifts it off, and you're like, oh, okay, that was cool.
I was wondering if there was any chance of Void Rays behind it or not. I mean, the Void Ray is a funny unit because it's like the Black Sheep Protoss unit where it just doesn't quite have a function.
Yeah.
Certainly not one that allows you to use it in a long game.
Yeah.
I mean, the Reaper's a little bit like this, but the Reaper at least has a central role, which is to scout and keep the other side honest by, you know, forcing you to make defense and place buildings in a certain order and all that.
Well, it looks like it's probably going to be Phoenix Colossus. There's really not much else you can do when you're making Phoenixes if you're making a lot of them. There was Phoenix Adept for a bit, but that's no longer something that can really be done. It's really been solved at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that Colossus tech. Yeah, I wonder, do you think he's going to take a third, or...
I don't know.
Are we going to see, like, I would imagine that there will be a third with this. Yeah,
well, it seems like there's always going to be a third, right? It doesn't seem like there's many games where, like, Protoss...
Phoenix, yeah, it's, like, kind of weird to not take a third with this. There was a 2-base Phoenix Colossus all-in that existed before.
Yeah.
And he's been playing so weird, I got to ask the question.
Well, whatever he's got in store, I totally welcome it. Oh, okay, that was weird.
Breaks the lock.
And so, Protoss continues with development. Colossus coming, along with Thermalance. So Phoenix Colossus. I don't know how much more damage the Phoenixes can do.
Yeah, it seems like he's pretty well defended everywhere, and I mean, it's good to use up the energy as much as you can.
Well, this is actually pretty good. I mean, if he can get catches like this.
Yeah, good lift there. Canceling that lock on once again. Gets rid of the Viking.
Yeah, hiccuping that lock on is key.
It'll be interesting to see which way Innovation wants to play. When you're playing against Phoenix Colossus, well, it was a big thing, like, way back in, like, Legacy of the Void. It was a very powerful unit composition that was used against Terran. And the prevailing thing was, like, well, either you don't make Vikings or you make 1,000,000 Vikings.
Yeah.
Right? Like, either you massacre all the Phoenix and Colossi before you fight, or you kind of ignore them and have a more Marauder-heavy army. So we'll see which way he goes. I mean, he is definitely making a lot of Marauders. You see him getting that concussive shells right now. He may just try to skip going Vikings. I think with this many mines out, I think that's really reasonable.
I think you're probably right. I think, well, this map's pretty open. And we've talked about this already today, but I think you can kind of skip Vikings if you know that you can get a pretty good angle in a fight. Phoenix Camp, by the way, dropped down by 1. It's going to be remade. Ideally wanted to keep that 5 Phoenix number.
Yeah, it seems like he might have that in mind, like you say.
This additional damage has been dealt on top. Oh my gosh. Did he actually get that? No, it's one shot away from being killed there.
Yeah, Innovation trying to be a little bit too fancy there. Zoun catches him and punishes. Not a gigantic punishment. It's not the end of the game.
No, but if Innovation mismanages that, he can lose his medevacs with the units in it. So you got to be very careful. And look at this. Again, another good little assassination on these Widowmite. Guys, Zoun might get out first.
He's looking very good right now.
Zoun might win the whole GSL.
That would be
We might have to learn Zoun's language. He's going to be the conqueror. He's the king. Zoun might just be the new emperor.
I'm ready for it.
You're probably wondering why do your parents worship Zounese? All right, well, that's the religion of Zoun.
All right.
No, this guy is just a beast. He's playing so well. He has got not only a really, I think, cool approach to the matchup, but his engagements are really good. Like, he's winning all the little skirmishes. He's keeping Innovation back. This is probably the most timid we've seen Innovation in a while.
Yeah, well, I don't think he has any opportunity to attack at the moment. And I don't think he's actually gone into Ghosts yet, which means these Archons are going to be very, very useful. Blink on the way, so he's transitioning away from the Phoenix type composition. Phoenixes don't actually scale. You don't want like 1 million of them and maxed out armies.
Okay, good catch. Getting the Widow Mines here, this is huge.
Really nice.
There's just nothing but an army that can kite, and that number is dropping pretty quickly here. The Phoenix is picking up the Marauders as the Stalkers shoot them down in the sky.
Ooh.
A counterattack is inbound here, but I think a recall is in order, right?
Well, if he actually commits, I would say yeah, but right now you should continue to attack. You've already picked off a bunch of army. You know where a bunch of the other army is. Right now, Zoun should just have a stronger force.
Yeah, on top of the eBay here too, but I guess he's going to try to push all the way into the main here, getting on top of production. Maybe a good way to get a killing blow on the Terran. This infantry is just not going to be able to engage the Colossus. And I think actually that counterattack is so small and minuscule.
Yeah.
Warpins can deal with it.
Well, he just let his natural Nexus die. He is going for the kill right now. Look at this. He's getting all sorts of upgrades, forcing liftoff at the natural. He's killed a ton of SCVs.
Yeah, and even though Innovation's counterattack is pretty scary, it's not doing damage anywhere near fast enough.
And he is just going for the kill right now. Look at this. Lifting up Marauders. His Colossi doing some serious work, just shredding everything.
Dude.
Zoun is going to take this game.
This is the player I'm most excited about now in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. He is looking fantastic.
The new level. He's just leveled up Protoss. Unreal. This is such great play. Innovation doing his best to try to counterattack. The damage is not coming out fast enough. Keep in mind, Zoun has a recall, like an ace up the sleeve here.
He'll recall to his third if it gets there.
And by then, the damage is
this
far
is
too
last
much.
command center. So
yeah, that's
I mean,
He'll
he
kill
kills
that.
that and that's it.
Yeah, and then it's just a ghost town of a base.
I think Innovation right now is looking at this and thinking, okay, is there any way to get a draw? No, there's not.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he's even brought probes.
Straight up dirty play.
Well, this is actually really smart if you're not going to recall.
Wow.
Wow.
Down.
First place in the group.
Turned Innovation into a clown.
Oh.
Great play. I really look forward to this interview. I'm wondering where Zoun thinks he can go in GSL. Not only is this a player that we're not used to seeing here.
It's only his second season.
Yeah, but he's actually come in here with a completely different way of playing Protoss in both PvZ and PvT.
Awesome play.
I welcome this.
Very exciting.
Okay, that interview is ready. Andy will be translating. Let's go to that now. Or in 5 seconds from now. You know, whatever.
And Zoun takes the win over Su and Innovation, and he moves out in Group E as the first place. Congratulations. Thank you. Wow. It was amazing to see you beat Su and Innovation to get that first place spot. How do you feel? Well, first of all, they're such splendid players, so I was quite worried at first, and I practiced really hard. And I'm really grateful to my team for analyzing the opponents. Season 1 was your first Codes, and Season 2 was your second. And it feels like you are really good at maintaining your composure. And it feels like your skills are really improving really fast. Well, back in Season 1, I was really nervous. So I couldn't think straight at the time. But today playing on the stage, I was able to brush off the nervousness. And you did use Colossus and the Phoenix to gain the win over Innovation. And you also went for the Voice Raise as well. So did you make the build yourself? Yes, I did. Well, your builds were very amazing in the winners bracket. And you were really good at using the disruptor skill shots against Su. So did you practice that? Yes, I did. So in the process, I realized that my win rate wasn't that high. So I was actually hesitant whether I should use disruptor on stage or not. But then I did use the strategy. Yeah, it might be really regretful if you didn't. So do you think the plays you showed today are quite similar to how you play normally against the Zerg? Yes, I think so.
경기장 승률이 30%도 안 나가지고.
You know, my Zerg win rate these days are like lower than 30%. So I did practice especially harder for the
박하수 선수와 좀
PVZ.
인연이 있는 편이잖아요. 오늘 그 승리가 좀 남다른 의미가 있는지 궁금한데요.
So I wonder if today's victory will have any special meaning for you.
모르겠다는 거에서 그리고 오프라인 무대여가지고 더 기쁘고요.
So I think winning an offline match today definitely means a lot to me. And I wonder if I can beat win the next one.
이신영 선수의 경우 오히려 상대 전적에서 앞서고 있거든요. 이신영 선수
As for the head-to-head record between you and Innovation, you're actually ahead.
옛날에 내부 했을 때 그래도 그나마 승률이 잘 나왔던 형이라서.
In the past, when we used to have scrims, I actually had a pretty good win rate against Innovation.
이신영 선수를 상대로 아주 강한 모습 보여주면서.
Oh, you showed a very strong side of yours against Innovation today, and then you move out as the first place.
시즌 2 도지명식도 시즌 3 도지명식도 처음입니다.
So this is your first time participating in the season 3 group nomination.
있다가 A조로 가고 싶습니다.
Well, I'm just gonna sit there still and move to Group A.
자신을 A조로 뽑을 것 같다 생각을 하시나 봐요.
So do you think you're gonna get picked in Group A? Yes, I think I will be picked in Group A. I think I am probably the least skilled player out of the 16 players.
이번 시즌 목표 어디까지 잡으셨어요?
So what are your objectives for this season?
8강 정도는.
Well, at least making it to the round of 8 would be very hopeful for me.
해봐야 알 것 같아요.
But I think I'm gonna have to try first.
자, 오늘 박한솔 선수의 활약에 아주 많은 분들이
So many fans were surprised by your awesome plays today, Zoun. So before you go, anything you want to say?
방송할 때마다 응원해 주시는 분들도 있고.
Whenever I stream, there are fans who cheer for me.
그분들 덕에 힘이 나는 것 같습니다.
So I think I'm able to play better because of those fans.
생애 첫 GSL
Once again, congratulations on making it to your first round of 16 in GSL. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 GSL
All right.
첫 진출을 이뤄낸 박한솔
Zhao moves on. This is a great development for today.
자, 계속해서 GSL
Yeah, no, that is super exciting for the rest of the tournament too. I cannot wait to see how he does in the next round.
I thought our games were going to be like good, but pretty straightforward. Where like, okay, yeah, of course, Innovation gets out, and then Sue gets out. But now, either Sue or Innovation will not get out. I don't know if Hurricane can upset both of those players, but we'll see. We've got a short break. When we come back, the elimination match. Do not go away.
Everything just turns around. I get stunned by your drum. I follow you into the sun. Shooting rays like a shotgun. You gotta be my someone.
Can't stop breathing. I'm only burning. We always run to catch the moment. Nobody can stop me, I'm running. You don't need harming. How will lead us to what we loving? Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment.
상큼한 복숭아가 사이다를 더 청량하게. 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
잡아 킬 흐림님 힐 그렇지 나 힐. 2.3끈 온다 잡아 바닥 바로
From the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
고고! 핫식스!
성능을 언제 어디서나 가볍게 즐기다. 지포스 GTX 1650 그래픽 최신 인텔 10세대 프로세서 탑재. 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
Round of 24. Innovation. Hurricane. Zoun. Africa TV. Prelude Studio Live. 2020 GSL Season 3. Code is Last Stand.
2020 is the year of Zoun. You are here to see the first major Zoun moment. It's all going to be uphill for Zoun from here.
Yeah.
He has won in a group that I think nobody ever expected him to advance out of. He won with play that nobody was seeing up until now.
He played great. I'm very excited about him going forward. Now that being said, we have a pretty killer group still.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild one of these players is not getting out.
That is for sure. I think Sue is supposed to take this, but maybe Sue's PVZ is lacking. Maybe it wasn't just Zoun's great play. Maybe Sue's struggling. I don't know. Hurricane looks good. Maybe not good enough to advance, but that's why we're here today, to make them fight it out. Know for sure. Ice and Chrome will be the first map, then Everdream, and if we get a Game 3, Eternal Empire. And the game's loaded up now. This is Game 1, Hurricane versus Sue.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께 있다. 우린 더욱 강하다. 팀 LP, 허리케인, 남기우. 아프리카 프린스, 수, 어윤수.
All right, I guess we just wait and see what Hurricane's got up his sleeve here.
Yeah, I mean, Hurricane did look good today. And I'll tell you what, I feel like we didn't get to really see what Sue had to offer. It's pretty surprising to see Zerg get taken down twice in a row by a push. We don't have that happen that often anymore.
No, not too much.
ZVT is in some ways similar to ZVP in theme. Zerg's trying to outgrow, and unless there's some kind of special timing they're doing. But yeah, let's see what he's got. I don't imagine that Hurricane will be emulating Zoun's play here.
No, well, if he is, then There's some new meta on the ladder that I haven't heard about.
Yeah, everything changed since Wednesday.
Okay, so we'll wait till this Cybernetic score finishes up, as is always the case for Protoss. Honestly, like, I like Hurricane. He's good.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted him to lose because I want to see Sue versus Innovation one more time before Sue goes to the military, you know?
Yeah, okay. Quick reminder here for everybody. Sue's military service date is like right after the finals of GSL.
He will not be in Super Tournament this year.
Yeah, so this is like, this could be the last time you see Sue for years.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he has any like online stuff he's planning on playing in the next month.
But a tournament of this scope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, GSL,
So,
this is it for him.
Does Sue stream? I don't actually
I think
know.
everyone streams a little, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm not following him if he does. I was going to say.
I haven't seen
Go
him
show
stream
him
in a
some
long
love
time.
on Twitch or Africa if he's streaming on there. I'm actually just not sure if he is.
Yeah. Well, he would be streaming on Africa, I would say, because he's on the Africa team.
That would make sense. But who knows? Maybe he wins here today. But, I mean, this is a tough one. I think it's fair to say Innovation a little bit better than Sue right now.
Yeah, I think,
on paper at
you're
least.
probably right.
As far as gameplay goes, Innovation definitely looking better, but you know it's all going to come down to that best of 3. But first, you know, Sue has to beat Hurricane here. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But yeah, this is kind of one of these bittersweet moments where he has to do his military service. All young Korean men who are able-bodied have to do. If it's not military service, it's some sort of community service. Like I think you can work in the subway system out here.
Oh, you can do all sorts of
like
things. You
clean
can
up trash. I believe I don't
Yeah, no,
know this that well.
Some people become police officers.
Okay.
Some people end up working at schools and stuff. Like there's a huge range of jobs that can be filled. It depends on like what you're fit into, basically.
And when we first moved out here, what is it? Was it 2 years and
It's
like
about
3
2
months
years.
or something like that?
Yeah, it's been going down slowly.
And yeah, they've been reducing it, and I believe now it's what is it? 18 months now?
Yeah, it's about 18 months,
so.
but it matters as well what your service is exactly.
Yeah, and I think some would be a little bit longer, some shorter, depending on what the role is.
Yeah, that's right.
JYP has been manning a door somewhere, a gate.
Yeah.
Probably the door between North and South Korea. That's where he's at right now.
There's a door.
There's one door, and JYP's in charge of it. No, yeah, there's all different little roles you got to do. And for these pro gamers, and if you guys have watched every GSL, you've probably heard us say this, but there are new people that tune into this that don't know this factor in Korea. You got to make a choice on when you want to do it. And when you're serving in the military, you can't make money. Like as in like you can't play GSL and win prize money. And so it kind of sucks for these guys. There's they have to decide when they want to do it. Being a professional gamer out here is recognized as a cultural asset to the country. And so you are allowed, if you're a professional gamer, to defer the military service back. And so there are some pro gamers that continued, you can go all the way back to StarCraft 1 even, of players that deferred it for like 12 years.
Well, I believe what it actually is, like, I think that just recently they have passed some new stuff about if you've done something culturally like really big, some people are going to be able to skip military, I believe.
Oh, you're going to be able to skip entirely?
Yeah, I think they basically, this is something that I think started for like Faker maybe. I could have sworn I read something like that, but I didn't look super into it yet. Just like Air Force Ace, a pro team was made for Boxer, literally because Boxer had to retire for the military service.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can defer if it's, well, hold on, we have the Glaive Adepts actually.
Yeah, well, we'll touch base on this in a second here. Let's check out how this Glaive Adepts attack comes in here.
Pretty good so far.
Targeting down the first queen, and whoa, I think the latest transfusion that ever worked I've ever seen. Now Shades inside the main. Now 6 drones have been killed. This is not the number that you're looking for, though. You need to get a little bit more. 2 more Adepts now over here as the Stasis Ward somehow actually protects some of those drones.
So look at this. He gets a bunch of drones over at the third base. Very, very well done, bringing that count up to 19.
So the total count now is 20. Is that enough has that slowed down Su enough where Protoss can capitalize on this? Because you have thrown all your adepts into their army. You were targeting drones while they were targeting your adepts. So you've traded army to take out their workers, but there's counterplay that can come from this as well.
Yeah. Well, he has a Void Ray out, so it makes it a little bit harder to do the Roach counterattacks. There is a Hydralisk Den finishing up here for Su. All right, so the Void Ray going to come back and chase down this Overseer, but that is going to allow the Roaches to know where he's at. All right, going to try to get in right away. Oh, man, an Immortal in here, but targeting down the Lynx.
This is bad. Losing that Immortal, and he's also locked himself out of his natural. Now, the Void Ray is a great tool to try to help out in this fight, but there's going to be damage here before these Roaches are cleaned up. That's for sure. And I love the splitting here.
Yeah, very good. He really needs to.
Weird.
Looks like maybe a bit of a misclick there.
Yeah, targeting the pylon was not intentional, that's for sure. So 6 probes are killed.
Yeah.
It looks like we're near the end of this attack here, but
not really as bad for Hurricane as I thought it might be there.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be much worse, but I think the Void Ray really did help out there.
Yeah, pretty quick cleanup, but you know what? Su has grown a lot during that. 72 workers right now. He's on 4 bases. He has Hydralisk production coming. Hive is on the way as well.
Yeah, and actually we might have the counterattack from the counterattack here. 2 Archons coming here too. But Hydra's, that's a completely different beast than Roaches, so let's see what kind of engagements they have here. Hydras, when they get high up enough in number, just spray down Protoss units. But if you can get them cornered, it could be a different story. So I did not realize that, to what we were talking about earlier, that there's the possibility to skip the military service now.
Yeah, I think some of that is starting to happen now. And yeah, the thing is, they almost had it there before, like back in the days, with some Olympic stuff that was going on. But yeah, if going to the military would really interrupt your career, that's how you can put it off. So it's not just pro gamers that can do it, but
yeah,
basically you can easily prove that, like, oh, if I go to the military, like, I don't have potential to earn from this afterwards.
Right. Like, let's say you're like learning curling or something for the Olympics, and it's like a very specific amount of time, ice skating or something like that. So yeah, right now we're watching Su fighting for how we're going to remember him in his last major tournament here.
Well, this game, he's looking all right, I think.
I think
like,
so.
He's got a lot. His lurkers are going to be popping out, so definitely we don't have the right type of army to deal with lurkers, but you can deal with lurkers tactically as well, right? The 4 Prism flying around, for instance, is a big part of how to fight against lurkers. So he does see that lurker den, very important. Second Robo is coming out. 4th base going up for Hurricane as well.
Yeah, Hurricane getting into a pretty solid position later on. Zerg is taking a 5th base over near 12 o'clock. And this is actually a pretty good PvZ from both these guys.
Yeah, no, this is pretty back and forth. They're definitely both injuring each other some.
Now, these lurkers are going to be tough to deal with. So that's a forced cancel, and this might be... Oh, wow, he's going to keep advancing here. Storm zoning that army out here, but... Look, if Zerg keeps Protoss on 3 bases, that's enough.
Yeah, anytime you see a Protoss unable to take that forth, like the 3 bases run out pretty darn quickly.
Yeah.
So it is an issue. Now, more drones were killed, but Su's economy is still pretty good here, and he's just re-droning immediately.
Okay, I'm not sure about pushing in here. Seems like these cannons are pretty well placed to try to take a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just never going to work.
That was not an ideal location to attack. Sometimes, it's like as defended as any location ever is for Protoss.
Sometimes you have to look at a spot like that and just say, okay, we're just not going to fight here at all.
Yeah. All right, well, unfortunately, his High Templars go up in auto attack. Has to make some Archons out of them to try to keep everything alive, but he has a lot of Immortals here. Starting to punch through some of the lurkers, but taking a lot of damage as well.
Okay, this is a fight that Hurricane is just winning outright here. I actually was a little bit confused by Su attacking at that angle there.
It was kind of weird.
Usually you want all your lurkers together and firing in a certain line, you know, where the damage is just so high.
Yeah, lurkers are like Broodlords or like Tempests or anything like that. They don't do anything alone, really. They're probably better than both those units alone, but like they're not very good alone, so you definitely need them with a lot of other units to kind of tank damage and keep them alive.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of lost assets there from Sue. I think he could still win, but again, now Hurricane, it looks like he should be able to control this fourth base and stop the Zerg from denying it. Unless there's something I'm not seeing here. Let's find out. The Lurkers are going to come down here again. There's about as many Immortals as there are Lurkers.
Good
Usually
storm right there to start. Throws
you
out
can-
another very nice storm.
You can see all those Lurker shots all connecting on top of the one Archon. It just exemplifies how much damage is all coming out at once. But this is a type of army where it's hard to kill, but it's also, for the Protoss, it's hard to kill, but it's also hard for the Zerg to actually get in and take out a base. That's why when we saw the fourth base denied so handedly, I thought, okay, maybe Sue's going to win this. But now that it's up again and he's lost some of those Lurkers, I think this could be a game that Hurricane can still take. The game now propels further on into late game where Zerg has a fifth, and Zerg is going to be taking a sixth very quickly. Protoss is trying to finish those last few puzzle pieces of tech here by getting Tempest and basically getting an advanced enough type of army where you can maybe come out and take large fights from a distance on the map.
Well, that's really interesting. We haven't seen the Tempest tech as of yet in Korea. Seen it a little bit elsewhere, but look at this. He's backing up this big attack onto his fourth base. Definitely needs to hold this. If you lose this fourth, you can't afford making your regular army and your Tempest. Look at that, a ton of Lurkers burrowed. He's losing all the shields very quickly on this Nexus. He needs to get in there and do something.
Yeah, this flank was the fight that Sue needed to have. This was beautifully done.
Dude, he's targeted down so many observers now. There's just, he can't see these Lurkers.
Yeah. Pretty bold, actually. Sue's going to try to advance here with these Lurkers, and I think this is a smart move considering, there's one observer left over here?
Well, he targeted down so many. It's just a very nice move overall, right? If you can't see the Lurkers, they're going to get the Nexus, and he gets the Nexus, which is really what's important.
And this is a game where if the Zerg just keeps pounding that would-be fourth base, the Protoss runs out of money and the game ends. It's a perfectly legitimate way to play the game.
Protoss has a decent army, but if he had a fourth base mining, he could actually back it up with more units.
You know, one thing about the Tempest is that they can kill Lurkers, but not before the Lurkers kill your Nexus.
Yeah.
The Zerg does not have to trade efficiently here. You know,
but it is being pretty efficient, to be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but it is. And behind this, we have so many more Hydras coming here. There's actually a Spire being made, so we could have this flip in tech into Mutas, or maybe even Corruptors.
Yeah, it could really be either one.
I'm
the
not
thing
sure
is,
which
if you
one's
kill
better.
the Tempest, the game is over. The game is almost over already because that fourth base just isn't up. So how many patches is Hurricane even mining from? It can't be very many.
The natural is, I think, literally mining out right now.
Yeah.
He does have the third, but the third is not enough. If you just, I think citing the patches is a really good way to put it, Artosis, because the Zerg is just mining from way more. And with what the Zerg has, you can probably keep growing on the map and keep making an army. And here's we go. Great harpooning here. And the Viper is just annihilating, I guess in symbiosis with the Hydras, annihilating those Tempests. And it's like, I think Sue just macros up and comes back in again.
Yeah, there's not much left here for Hurricane. See, he starts to take an engage, can't quite do it. GG is called. Sue gonna take that first game.
Nicely done by Sue. Putting up a real fight there against Hurricane. Again, Hurricane looks good. Looks like a Code S player that's just not quite as clean the longer the game goes on. StarCraft 2 is insane with how much you have to start doing when things pick up.
Yeah.
After the third base, you are juggling.
Your attention is just all over the place.
Yeah. And I mean, this is true actually for all RTSs. But it's you know, you can see it here in StarCraft. You kind of have to know what's going to happen before it happens always. And if you're not ready for everything. And by the way, I thought Hurricane had a pretty good start there.
He played a pretty good game, I'd say. Like, I think it was well done, but Sue just seemed a bit more robust.
Yeah, for sure. Our game 2 is loaded up. This is Everdream. Let's see if Hurricane can come back or if Sue will go on to the final match against Innovation.
GSL을 위하여. 아프리카 프린스 수 어윤수.
Okay, so again, Hurricane, like his play has been like a 7 out of 10. We need to see like a 8 or 9 out of 10 here if he's going to win any games. Like he looks good.
Yeah.
There's just moments where he like takes too much damage early on, or like he gets to the late game and he's not fast enough. He's not on top of everything. Like Su was hurting for a little bit in that last game, but Su is so clutch. And I think particularly in mid game, I know I've said this before, but I think it's true now, is like he's so strong in mid game. I think the fact that Zoun beat him was because he's just stopped the mid game from actually starting.
Yeah, it's a good point because like even though the early game did well for Hurricane, he had the right type of idea for that early game.
Yeah.
I mean, Su droned up right afterwards, like 72 drones. He attacked with a bunch of roaches. They didn't really do that much, but that's okay because he just went up the tech tree, got into lurkers. And then the entire game just turned into Su diving on the 4th base and preventing that 4-base economy. I mean, if you're going to late game with Protoss, you do need 4 bases.
Right.
Okay? There's 1 base all-ins, there's 2 base timing attacks, there's 3 base timing attacks. There's not 3 base long drawn-out macro games. You dry up. It doesn't happen. If you want to, as Protoss, to play a long macro game, you need that 4th base. And just the fact that Su denied it over and over and there were different tactics too, like targeting down observers several times.
Yeah,
he
that was really
couldn't
good.
see the lurkers. He had an army that I think could have saved the Nexus if he could see it all.
That is a big Achilles heel with Protoss, is if you don't have oracles with your army. If they just
think
get the
oracles
observers,
are much better against
they are better.
lurkers. They're
Yeah,
just much better.
Yeah,
Observers are such garbage.
Yeah, I mean this is always the problem in StarCraft 1 and PvZ is like
Hydra
the observers
lurker,
just it gets exploded.
You know what's kind of funny actually is he went Hydra Lurker there and targeted observers, which we never see in StarCraft 2 really.
Yeah, but in
we see it all
StarCraft
the time
1,
in
that's the
StarCraft 1.
entire game.
And just to mention this, within the last few months, Su hit #1 on the StarCraft 1 ladder.
Oh yeah, that's actually something we should be pointing out. He has been...
He's very good at StarCraft 1 as well right now. So
he's a beast.
And that's something he will do all the time in StarCraft 1 because every Zerg will do it all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of cool to see. I actually forgot about that. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
He's been playing both, so he kind of brought that style in here into StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see why it works. Like the Observer is, in some ways, the worst unit that there's ever been in the game. Like it's cool because it's invisible.
The Void Ray wants to have a talk with you, Tasos.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. Of units that must be made in a game, the Observer is like very easy to kill.
Yeah.
It's not fast.
Yeah, it's slow enough that Terrans can kill it without getting frustrated. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Always enjoy that.
Yeah, it's like... And so a lot of times, even though a Protoss army can be very technical and strong, if there is not an Oracle tech there, so Stargate tech was skipped in some sense, yeah, that's one way to win a fight. And we saw it back there in that game.
Yeah, I think once they get into lurkers, it's probably a good idea to just always make sure you have an Oracle just clicked on your army. It doesn't even have to be in your control group. Like if you have Tempest, just right-click onto the Tempest.
Yeah,
it's so
useful. It's just good to have around. And once you get the first tag on the lurkers, if you're playing right, you should not ever miss the tag at that point in time.
Yeah.
And then you're just fighting the lurkers. You're not trying to combat some largely invisible
An observer while microing your army. Yeah. Oh man. And the thing is, people may be like, "Oh, just siege it." Nah, they'll just run 2 steps closer and kill it. Still,
yeah,
it's like you can't micro it away.
Then it can't run away as fast.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, we have another Glaives build here, but good surround to start here by Su. All right, so nice juggling from Hurricane, though.
Yeah, I think that the Zerg is still winning this fight, though, so this is actually really bad. It would have been better if he actually just completely ran away. That was a miscalculation there by Hurricane, where Su looked at that and said, "Oh, okay."
Well, he keeps the Prism alive. He has an okay amount left over here. More Lings being made by Su.
But if you're Zerg, you'll always trade Lings for this. Yeah. That's like what you want.
There's some Roaches now, too. There is a Dark Shrine on the way, as well as an Immortal.
Okay. Oh,
kind of interesting, the timing of the Dark Shrine, isn't it? Because a lot of the time what you're trying to do is to get it out a little bit quicker. Like you would skip the Immortal, make the Dark Shrine, and then make the Immortal. instead here a bit later, so we'll see if he gets anything done when that finishes.
Okay, this should be a canceled shade. No reason to commit back there. Again, the objective when you're doing a depth play like this is to get the army fractured and split up enough that then you could start executing drones. Behind that, you end up with a powered-up army. You start to increment out Immortals, get Archons. In this case, it's going to be DT tech.
I wonder if he's going to be able to get any real damage done with those DTs.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
It's very close to done, and the layer's only halfway.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool surprise move because right now this looks like your run-of-the-mill Protoss.
Yeah.
Almost out of time, out of place build that doesn't seem to work as much anymore, at least not in the GSL games we cast here. But then to add the DTs into it is some interesting flavor on top of it because that could actually throw the Zerg off entirely.
Yeah, he has 3 DTs in his Prism right now. Is he going to drop in the main? Like, what's he... We haven't seen what he's going to do yet. Okay, now he gets a 4th DT. Okay, I don't know if I like waiting for the 4th.
Yeah, I feel like this is much more time sensitive than it is about having 4 versus 3. I feel like the DTs should be in there a little bit more quickly, but let's see. Now, attention given to these adepts that will be killed off, but in the main, the DTs are here. Not a single one's killed before the Spore is taken out. Is he going to target down the spawning pool? I mean, what is the plan
I would love
here?
to see him target anything.
Well,
instead of chase stuff that's running away. Instead, he picks up, he gets out of there. But you know what? 8 drones.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think it...
So it's not like the DTs are useless. He can go make a couple Archons, you know?
Yeah, I think he should have set those 3 in there instead of the 4, though. Because I think then he maybe can target down the layer or the spawning pool or something.
Maybe.
But now he's got the Archons. The attack sequence is not done yet. And I think the War Prism is still full on HP, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he can still do a lot with this. This is all occurring while the Zerg, is trying to take a 4th base.
Some decent harassment, kind of cool. You don't normally see Archon harassment this late.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that. I mean, it might be pretty easy for the Zerg to fend this off.
Certainly easier than early on, right?
Guess that.
It's just
that's the one that gets away.
Well, that's why we talk. Yeah. You know, we talk about the timings of various buildings, like how quickly you're doing it, and we're seeing some very different timings today from our Protoss players, where it's like very late Oracles from Zoun, and then here it's like kind of a late DT Shrine, late Archon harassment. You see the Archon harassment, though, not really doing all that much. I don't think this is going to do anything, Tasteless. I think these units need to go home and... No, right? That's
this
too much.
This can't work, right? No, this is so small.
Yeah, he's got 1 Immortal. 3
feel
Immortals,
like
he beats that. 1, no.
This is also, again, a very open
3.
area.
Huh. Yeah, it is very open. That would be hard to attack because of that. Oops.
Oh, okay.
We need a door!
They need a drawbridge over there at the entrance.
Drawbridge.
Yeah.
We just need a building that only Protoss units can walk through.
Yeah.
I'd cover the whole map in those. That'd be so sick.
Oh, look at this 1 DT. Let's see what this can get done. I guess there are spores everywhere, though.
Yeah.
I
But
guess
maybe there's no units.
Oh, there's
Are there spores everywhere, Tasteless, or are there not?
How embarrassing of me to say there were spores everywhere when this base has no spore. Oh, it has a spore. Tasteless, don't doubt yourself.
Good high-quality DT, though.
Yeah. All right, let's just watch this DT go, man.
I'll watch it all day.
Yeah, this is the... Oh.
This DT is a killer.
Get DT blank.
Get DT blank.
Yeah. Now, see, those Archons, when they were Dark Templars, they were friends with that 1 DT. They're pissed.
Yeah.
Their combined emotional damage is what's going to drive them to this attack.
He could have been half an Archon.
Yeah. So, Storm is finishing.
Dude, this army that Hurricane has made is really nice.
Yeah, things are starting to add up pretty nicely here for Hurricane.
Lurker Den just finished. The first Lurker's on the way.
So it's going to be a while before he can have enough lurkers amassed.
Yeah, if he can go hit, like one lurker, well, seven now are making, but...
Never mind.
A little bit harder to attack.
We thought we were onto something, but no. Well, let's see if Protoss actually wants to take a fight or if he's just trying to get in front of this bottleneck. By the way, Zerg opening up the map. This is really showing how confident Su's feeling right now. As time passes, we're going to have Hurricane get to maxing out. And it seems like the army that's fractured off here for Su is going to go for a counterattack on the third. Now, we may end up in a similar position to Game 1 where it's just lurkers diving on the fourth base and denying it over and over again.
Well, he's actually kind of drawn the army over with that small group of roaches that you mentioned. So he's a bit out of position as Su attacks towards his fourth base.
Yeah.
Looks like he does get back in time to meet it before it hits the Nexus at least. All right, so these roaches get dealt with pretty easily.
Yeah, this is going to be cleaned up, no problem. Good micro there. Nice Zealot attack here. This will deny the 5th. Oh, sorry, that could have been the 6th, actually. There's another base being taken adjacent to the main.
Zealot's going to keep him busy for a little bit, chasing them back. Really great use of those Zealots. Those were very valuable. Look at this. Now he's sending another group to actually attack that 5th base, and its main army coming up between the 3rd and 4th. Oh, God.
Yeah, now this is the fight we want to watch for here, because this is the bulk. This is the real muscle of what Hurricane has.
Yeah, Su, though, does not have a huge chunk of his army here. Hurricane's starting to attack into this 3rd base area, but the lurkers come up for a bit of a flank, and he's going to back out. But in the meantime, DT's over at the 5th. Hurricane's playing a very nice game.
Okay, this is actually a lot to try to follow here. The DTs are still roaming free. There's not going to be an expansion down near the bottom right for a while now. The 4th for the Protoss is not going to be touched either. It looks like Hurricane's fishing to try to get some kind of position because he needs to basically loop back up to the top and try to poke out that base. You know, one thing about lurkers is it is hard to engage them when they have the setup.
Oh, yeah.
It's you can't just muscle your way through.
Yeah, you can't muscle. You have to either pick them apart elsewhere because, again, it's a siege unit. It's a unit that needs other units near it. So they are good in splitting.
Oh, I think Su might have made a mistake here. He's left this base completely open. It looks like Hurricane kind of faked him out with his movement, and now there's just nothing defending here. But at the same time, this counterattack is a real threat here for Hurricane.
Yeah, Su coming in with this counter towards that natural right now.
So what does Hurricane want to do? He's going to keep trying to press the issue. He's going to take a fight. We're in this kind of weird base tradey scenario.
Oh, my God. And we actually have DTs just kind of walking around like they own the place.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so I'm sorry. There was a recall or was there not?
No.
I thought I saw the animation. I must be confused. Excuse me. So that goes down now. Hurricane, is he going to win this base trade? I'm not actually clear on this.
Well, his 4th base is actually still up. His 3rd base is still up as well.
He still has
this
5
went better
immortals
for Hurricane so far, but it's not over quite
But here's
yet.
the thing. He can actually snipe that one observer. There's a second observer coming here. It looks like he's not... Actually, there's 3 observers, 4 observers out now. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
there's way more than
DTs as well. Just
I thought.
All right, DT's fighting when they're detected against Lurker Hydra. Didn't work out so well.
Oh my God. The catches, though, on these Immortals is huge. That's it. Su takes it at the very end. Crazy game. Su versus Innovation is how we close out today.
And Hurricane, unfortunately, going to get last place in this group, unable to move into the round of 16.
That was quite the series.
Yeah, that was some nice games.
When you kill those Immortals, there's nothing that can take on the Lurkers.
Yeah.
The Lurkers are just too strong.
Well, you got to be in a good place before Su gets up to all this stuff, right? When there's Vipers and Lurkers out, I mean, they're going to pick apart these types of armies.
Yeah, for sure. This is really sizing up to be, I think, maybe our best day so far in round of 24.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of fun games.
I think you're right, actually.
And I'm happy with whoever moves on next, but I'm also sad. Innovation and Su. I'm sad.
All things change, Tasteless.
I don't like it when bad things happen. Up next, guys, Innovation Su. Do not go away.
아프리카 TV 프리급 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 3 코드스 라스트 스탠드.
상큼한 복숭아가 사이다를 더 청량하게 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다. 울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
잡아 킬 림님 힐 그렇지 나 힐 2.3끈 온다 잡아 바닥 바로
From the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
고고 핫식스.
성능을 언제 어디서나 가볍게 즐기다. 지포스 GTX 1650 그래픽 최신 인텔 10세대 프로세서 탑재. 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
야, 우리 진짜 한 판만 더 이기면 돼.
야 그럼 나 화장실 좀 갔다 올게.
야, 어디가?
금방 와.
자, 이 정도.
20여 명의 학생들이 컴퓨터 게임에 몰입하고 있는 또 다른 PC방. PC방의 전원을 꺼보겠습니다.
From the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
고고 핫식스.
싱그러운 청귤이 사이다를 더 청량하게 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다.
성능을 대용량 배터리로 언제 어디서나 더 오래 즐기다. 72Wh 대용량 배터리, 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어. 듀얼 메모리, 듀얼 저장 장치, 고성능을 듀얼 업그레이드로 더 오랜 기간 즐기다.
거기 거기 들어와. 그 밑에 걔 잡고. 나이스. 자, 씨. 됐어.
미안해 로나. 화났어?
미안해. 내가 해줄게.
아 잠깐 내가 누르면 안 돼. 누르면 안 돼 지금. 자 경쾌한데 무슨 소리야?
좋은 시간 되세요.
From the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
고고! 핫식스!
이상한데? 그렇게 작아. 너무 안 보이는데? 보이지가 않잖아. 쓸 수가
아니 저
없는데?
키워보라고.
성능 17 대화면으로 언제 어디서나 더 크게 즐기다. WQXGA 초고화질의 17 대화면 16:10 최적의 화면비. 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어.
라면이요.
자 이게 좀만 들어주세요.
나왔습니다.
잠깐만 들어주세요. 빨리 나와요 이거.
음료 나왔습니다.
From the beginning.
고고! 핫식스! 우승을 차지하는 전태현!
더 이상은 지켜볼 수 없다. 이제는 내가 직접 나서야 할 때가 된 것 같구나. 형제들이 검을 높이 들어. 첫 번째 저수백에 더 이상 패배란 존재하지 않는다. 이 땅에 영광의 전투가 펼쳐지리라. 엔타로 GSL.
I can't stop praying. I'm omnipotent. We always run.
Round of 24. Innovation. Hurricane. Zoun. Africa team. Prelude Studio Live. 2020 GSL Season 2 Korea's Last Step.
It's time for the final match, and this is like the dream final match. There's so much on the line. Both these players are so incredibly good, so storied. One of them is going to get eliminated. Zoun, causing an earthquake in Group E, exits first, leaving two players that have, I mean, combined, how many finals have these guys been in?
10.
10.
Well, 9 because they played each other in one.
Okay. 9 finals for these two, and one of them is going to get eliminated. The landscape is shifting here of who's on top and who's not. This is also Su's last GSL CODAS before he goes to his compulsory military service. So I don't even know who I'm supposed to root for here. I think Sue. All right, Sue is it. Golden Wall Map 1, Innovation versus Sue. Let's go.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께일 때 우린 더욱 강하다. 카이즈 게임, 이노베이션, 이신영. 아프리카 프린스, 수, 어윤수.
All right, you can see the dominating history of Innovation against Su.
Yeah.
18-9.
But you can also see Su can take games off of Innovation. It's just that Innovation tends to be the guy that bulldozes Su. You know, Innovation wins almost always look the same. Today is no exception. You know, Innovation comes out, it looks sort of even at the start, and then he has enough little victories that the war is his.
Well, if you also compare their styles, they're actually really similar. They are known as the best mechanical players from their races.
Yeah.
But Su tends a little bit towards mid-game, and Innovation tends a little bit towards late game, in my opinion. Which means that I think that Su can run himself dry against Innovation. Do you know what I mean?
I actually think you summarized that really well. Innovation starts to take a lead in the mid game, oftentimes, but it's the late game where he just smothers his opponent. Where I think Su makes a lot of really smart tactical decisions. So Su has to have some kind of an edge or come out on top to get a closer here. But that's hard to do against Innovation because the thing that's frustrating, I think, for most players when they play against Innovation is the lack of obvious flaws.
Okay.
I mean, I know that he is repetitive as far as what builds he does, but if it works, I mean, it's why he does the same thing over and over again. He's pretty much ready for whatever you're going to throw at him.
We'll see what he goes for on this map, right? He oftentimes does 3 command center play, but he's getting his second gas, so he's going to go a little bit more tech-heavy here to open. I almost find it a little bit surprising. So maybe he is mixing up a little bit, right? Because Innovation, like, one of his main builds is Reactor and Hellion while going 3 command, and that's a really good build for this map, right? Because you have that gold base.
Yes.
Instead, he's going to tech up a bit more, so showing he does have that range. We'll see what he wants to do with this start report.
This is so crazy that Su is going to eventually be retiring.
Yeah.
At least temporarily. I don't know if he's
I
going to
think
come
he'll be back. I think everyone basically comes back.
Everybody comes back despite everybody saying that the game's going to die and we all have to stop playing.
Well, when you played StarCraft this much, you really see the beauty of it, and you're already so good at it and all these things. So it's like, why wouldn't you?
Why would you have to stop? I've never actually understood this, but I guess it's because we're so balls deep in esports that like we're living it, you know. But these people that are like, we have to stop. The game's not the most popular. It's all about battle royale games now. I'm like, what are we even talking about?
No.
You need to play the game that other people are playing because why?
For most people, yeah, they do feel like
listen,
that.
man, we're on the internet.
I don't even get it.
Do you know how many weird games way smaller? StarCraft isn't even small, but like way smaller and more obscure with scenes.
StarCraft is my kink, and I found the people that like my kink.
That's
man,
right.
That's it.
It's like, it's fine. I like feet, okay? We're feet people. No, look, I never got it. I always wonder if when people that kind of are doom and gloom about the game, even though it's like it's active and if you hit find match and within a minute you're immediately linked up with somebody of your own skill, which is all you need, by the way. Oh, hold on a second. I can't talk about this because we have a Hellion attack coming in here.
All right, Lings come up for this round. Not a lot of damage done yet. There is a Spore here, the boost pass, so no harm, no foul, I guess. Some damage put down on everything.
Yeah, I've just never got it. I remember when everybody freaked out because League of Legends got bigger than StarCraft.
Yeah.
Like the entire world would just switch over to that. And not play. I'm like, League is very big and
partially
very successful.
true.
Yeah, but I mean the idea that like, oh, this creates a vacuum where nobody can play the game, it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so a Liberator's moving out on the map here. The Hellion drop never actually did what it needed to do.
It was not that great.
Injured Hellion and injured Hellions, excuse me, and an injured Medevac are now fleeing.
Yeah, the Liberator getting ready. Is he just going to siege up there? Yep, sieges, and Su a bit too quick. Going to push that back pretty easily.
So, at least for now, Innovation hasn't really made a dent here. He's trying to. Hellion's trying to come in here, but so far Su is basically deflecting everything really well. Now, the Liberator's starting to get some drone kills, so that's something. But I'd say overall, Su's handling of this has been really good.
Yeah, I mean, Innovation hasn't really lost things, right? I don't think he's actually lost any units in his harassment.
That is a good point.
But
he's not
he hasn't
done anything.
done that much. Yeah.
So it's fairly even. I mean, 3 drones is an acceptable number to lose for Zerg.
Well, I guess it's 5 total so far.
Okay. By the way, Innovation. This really does feel like an Innovation game here. He takes the gold base in the front. He's not afraid to defend it. He's going to use that, not just the resources from the gold base to get a bigger army, but because it's a forward position, he can use this as a launching pad for his attacks.
Yeah.
So, and look, I think this should be a very straightforward game in a lot of ways. It's going to be, can the Zerg hold off the Terran enough to where the Terran is overextending and hemorrhaging units or getting beaten back entirely?
Looks like Innovation going to drop into the main base. All right, gets those couple of mines down.
Okay, that was perfect.
Yeah, perfect splitting
that was
from Sue.
Beautifully done. And again, Innovation not really making a crack here.
He doesn't need to yet, though, right? As long as he's flying around and not really losing things, his economy is really getting going now because he has that gold CC.
So you're correct, but this is exciting because a lot of the games, Innovation has already won 2 little battles. And is starting to mount his lead.
That's true.
The fact that Sue is brushing off all these attacks and continuing to grow and flourish is really exciting. Nice transfuse there, takes out the Liberator, Medevac's driven away here. A dive on top of the command center, but there's too many Marines, and the Lings have to run.
2-2 on the way for both sides. Mutus coming up also. Failing speed on the way. Looks like that'll be done before any attack occurs. Drilling Claws here for Innovation. He also, that 4th command is kind of neat. He's really building that economy, adding a bunch of racks now as well.
And, you know, we're kind of waiting for the actual push to come. Everything else is just a pre-show for the actual Innovation push to come out here. Again, remember, Innovation's on the gold base. That'll mine out pretty quickly, but that will allow him to have quite a bit of economic momentum. But if Zerg can survive that and then take the gold base on his side of the map, it's really not so bad for the Zerg. Keep in mind, this is what I would say is more of an orthodox TVZ on this map, in that the lower platform is being ignored. We've had a lot of games where the lower I'd say unorthodox games where, someone's taking the top, someone else is taking the bottom, but this should be pretty straightforward. We'll see if the lower platform starts to take a role or play a role here.
I don't feel like it's going to this game.
Yeah, I think
it really doesn't look like it.
By the way, I still love casting games on this map.
Yeah, no, it's a great map. All right, looks like a Widow Mine drop going to be coming in. Drilling Claws is going to be done, so definitely has some potential for big damage.
Okay, let's see if Sue's ready. He hasn't reacted just yet. And this is going to be a success. 6 drone kills with just the first mine, and there's still 2 more mines to boot.
All right. Oh my god, this could be really good. Well, no, it wasn't that good, but you know what? 7 drones, I guess it's all right. Innovation going to start clearing some of this creep now. See, he's nearly maxed out. 2-2 going to be finishing.
Yeah, and with 2-2, that's when the army is enough that you can start to really lean into the Zerg.
This is exactly the type of push that I always think about when I think about Innovation.
Yeah.
2-2 is finishing. He's maxed out. Let's go.
He's got the Thor in here to try to combat the Mutas. He will be fighting on creep. Innovation was not doing very much to keep creep under control, which means the Banelings are going to be connecting with their targets that much faster. There is, just below this shot here, the gold base being taken. I don't know if he's going to push there yet. I don't know why these Banelings are out. I am genuinely confused by that. I feel like they were not hotkeyed. Because now comes the rest of the army. But those Banelings that were there earlier should have been with the attack that we're seeing now. And I think the fact that we're having fragments of the army take fights, not connected with each other. Even here, what am I seeing?
Huh. Well,
I think Sue might just die now.
It's possible. He's making 20 more Banes at the moment. Lots of Lings on the way as well. Innovation needs a reinforcement. It seems like the reinforcement might be a little bit slow. Definitely needs some more units mixed in. This is maybe Sue's chance right now. Some more units coming up now. Creep starting to recede. The mines getting reloaded.
Okay.
Oh, good mines. But the Muta's going to start cleaning up everything here at the top.
I stand corrected here. It looks like Su, despite, I think, some questionable calls here for when he engaged, all I see is more medevacs than infantry right now, and Terran on the run.
Su's taking a couple more bases as well, including the gold. So he's going up to 6 bases against the 4 of Innovation.
And keep in mind, the Innovation's gold bases are going to mine out. We already see some of the patches have disappeared. So
he's only got 4 patches left at that gold. So his economy is going to start to go downhill from here.
Yeah. Things are going to cool off here for Innovation, just as the Zerg Su is going to be ramping up. And I think we're going to see aggressive creep spread as Zerg's going to try to just dominate. Now, the upper right base is actually, it's pretty hard for Zerg to ever get to it. So we want to watch for that, but more importantly is that the resource soaking has slowed down here for Innovation as the gold base dries up.
Well, Innovation, I mean, he's pushing past that halfway point, starting to hit this base. The 5th base, I guess we would call it here for Su. We're just kind of utilizing that small choke on the ramp.
Okay, lots of Lings and Banes up here. Terran is trying to get up. 3 attack and 3 armor is, well, armor's about to finish. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get up there.
You know what? That's a big deal, though, what you just said. It's going to be 3-3 against 2-2 now.
Yep.
And that is, in the classic Ling Bane Muta against Bio, this is the point where it gets really strong for Terran.
Terran may try to force his way up here. Nice snipe there on the Widow Mine.
Oh, those front Marauders tanking so much.
Yeah, there's a real art to getting your Marauders right in the front like that so the Lings can't get in there.
It's the Ling Bane trying to clear those as best it can, but Bane's just so inefficient against Marauders. All right, starting to peg away at this hatchery.
All right, I don't know if Terran can hold on. We have more Banes coming in here. Great splitting on the low ground, though. And Innovation, I think with perfect execution, has actually turned this game on its head. He can keep advancing. He can take out this base just up here at the top. Can he push all the way into the upper left? Let's find out.
Well, this is getting really tough. Like, is Su does he even have enough larva to spend his money at this point? That's the question. Yeah, and I think the answer is actually a no. He's got 1,200 minerals. He's making as many units as he can, but it's hard to keep up with all that.
Terran continues to advance. I don't see enough Banelings being made. 3 being morphed right now. Innovation just presses onward. This maxed out Terran against 125 supply Zerg. Innovation should be winning game 1. GG.
All right, well done from Innovation. Knocking Su down in that first game. Very solid play. The 2-2 timing, quite nice. Su held on for a bit. Wasn't super duper efficient, and it felt like he was a little bit low at larva there as well. And specifically that 5th base, we see a lot of games that are focused on the top half of that map.
Yeah.
Really center around pushing that base down. A lot of them, right? And Su lost a lot of units trying to keep it there. It was just some great spreading as far as mines went. The Marauders tanking a lot as well.
Right.
So really well done from Innovation. Su suddenly 1 map away from ending his GSL career.
Can Su come back and win on Ice and Chrome? I hope so. Again, Su going to the military after this GSL. And he'll be gone for a little bit under 2 years if he comes back.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee.
Never
Innovation versus Su. Game 2 starts now. Innovation with a 1-0 lead. Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's start. Okay, there we go.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 카이즈 게임, 이노베이션, 이신영. 아프리카 프린스, 수, 어윤수.
Quick reminder, guys. in, what time is it? Hold on, what is it? It's about to become 4 o'clock. At 7 o'clock on the same YouTube channel you're watching now, assuming you're watching live and this is not a VOD for you, we'll have ASL.
Yeah.
We have, this schedule's been moved around a little bit. We have a lot of esports events going on over here in Seoul. And so we're having, the ASL day will be later on tonight. So if you want to leave the channel open, hang out with us during that, feel free.
We're going to have to head right over there, Tasteless. No time to waste.
That's right. We'll finish here and book it over to the other studio.
Yeah. Full day of StarCraft for us. What could be better, though?
No, I welcome this. So, in the last game, Sue did look really good.
Yeah.
I mean, he was actually holding on. It just seems like Innovation got to the 3-3 tech. There was a weird period where, like, we saw a third of the army. It was Baneling's fight, and then it was, like, another third fought.
It almost felt like he was going after mines, but then he didn't go after the mines, you know? Sometimes you roll the Banes in, and you're like, okay, we'll detonate these on mines, but they just rolled in and didn't do a lot.
I think that Sue could have at least pushed Terran back and dragged the game out had the engagement's been better. On that previous map, there's a little area Terrans like to push into where it's like a real bottleneck, and it's just really hard for the Zerg to get an engagement, but the Terran gets a pretty good foothold.
Just a little bit of a back and forth here. See what we were talking about before with the Reaper Zergling dance. Notice how the Reaper doesn't get any kills here.
Yeah.
And everyone basically is like, yeah, Sue and Innovation are about the same level.
These guys are so good.
Just the way it is. Innovation looking for a way in. There isn't one. Just back up and wait. So this game, he is going for that quick third CC. Starport on the way now as well. We'll see what he wants to go with this. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's another medevac. See if he can get anything done with that.
Do you think there's a chance that Sue will do some kind of an all-in here?
No, it doesn't look like it this game. I think if he was going to, he should have already had it started. Like, the Roach-Horn should have been started.
Again, guys, this could be the last game we see of Sue.
Yeah.
Who was, I think, one of the most interesting characters in all of StarCraft 2. I mean, the guy got to so many GSL finals, got right up to the pinnacle, didn't quite make it.
He is, you know, the Kong curse, as they call it, because Yellow, once upon a time, lost so many finals in Star Leagues and stuff. Sue outdid him, like, by a lot. Sue got second in everything.
And also in a different era of StarCraft where the game was really figured out.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's just, even other tournaments that aren't GSL as well, right? Like, BlizzCon, second place.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, it's this never-ending curse for him. Of course, he did end up having a great year last year with IM and all. But so I guess the curse has gone a lot of ways, but no GSL victory.
At least not within the framework of our show.
Yeah, and that can be a bit painful because winning a GSL is this kind of big thing. It's one of the big milestones, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, World Champion is gigantic. There's fewer World Champions than GSL winners, but winning a GSL is kind of like a big mark on StarCraft as well.
Yeah, well, it's a Star League out here. You know, that's kind of where all these stories started. You know, OSL, MSL, and GSL,
ASL.
All the SLs. But yeah, he just never quite made it. And so, you know, here he is fighting, but he might be eliminated by Innovation here.
Still one of the most successful GSL players of all time, though.
Innovation, interestingly enough, I think he's from a family of 6 children. Is that correct?
A lot.
Or a lot? Maybe more than that even, like 7 or something.
Yeah.
Like, the Innovation family seed is strong.
Yeah, his younger brother is a League of Legends pro that's really, really good right now, I've heard.
I think there's one other sibling that's also like a semi-pro or something like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So clearly a very talented family.
Yeah. They were, I guess, instilled with a deep work ethic.
Yep.
At least.
So, fairly standard textbook TVZ to start it off, you know.
Yeah.
Terran with modest pressure. trying to expand. Zerg just trying to keep the drone count up, maintaining the balancing act of having enough to defend here. We've got 20 Lings on the way, most likely to deal with the influx of Hellions that are pushing out on the map, although he continues to make those.
Well, he's about to have 1-1 done. Maybe he has some harassment potential that he
Can
wants
that
to
SCV see that?
do. No, I don't think so.
Right? Oh,
he sees one lane.
Sees one, which is actually not enough for you to assume that there's a whole bunch down there.
See this? I'll get it. Sarge goes down there.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Okay, nice little counterattack. As soon as he sees the Hellions commit on creep, runs up here, gets a few SCVs. Not that much damage, though.
No, not bad. It doesn't lose that many Zerglings. He can use them again later.
Oh, yeah.
There's plenty more Lings coming down. And Baneling speed is not far away. So there's going to be a moment where Zerg can be pretty dangerous on the map here.
I don't think he's going to attack, though.
I think you're probably
I know
right.
he's making more Lings right now, but I think this is just his stay alive Lings.
I think that if we have an attack, it'll be from the Terran.
Yeah. But really 1-1 with a third base is not a timing for Terran. What he should be doing here is trying to remove some creep and just poke.
Shot in the back. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Tough way to go for that
There was no
queen.
honor there.
Yeah. Is there anything to defend here? I love the auto turret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the
that's
auto turret's
great.
coming in. Really nice.
If you can get the spread correct there, then the Hellions do way more damage. I love this.
That's cool. Good usage. And I love the flying around to help clear creep there. Now Muta's out, so some of this is going to be a bit harder because you can get punished a lot more. So you see he's going to get that Raven at least. Drilling Claws on the way for Innovation. Another command center. More barracks. Getting that 2-2 still. 2-2
Okay.
not done yet for Sue. But well ahead.
Yeah, Sue's looking very strong in this game. This map is configured quite differently. Like, you can absolutely have a harder time as Terran trying to push across.
Like
good catches here by the Mutas.
Yeah, good micro from Innovation, though. He saves as much as he really possibly could have.
Some drones being transferred out here. We've got, I think, good map control here. I guess for me, what I'm waiting to see is how is Sue going to handle the big push from Innovation, especially when it's at 3-3. Because, again, it seemed odd the way that he handled it in the last game. Parts of the army attacking and others just sitting
the
there.
Sloppiness type
It
aspect?
was some slop.
Okay. Yeah. And you don't want it to be slop unless you're feeding pigs, right?
No. We might be feeding pigs, though, Artosis. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what we do with the losers, man. We feed them to the pigs.
Yeah, you
like
never
the
find them that
mafia.
way, right?
That's right.
Can't find fingerprints in pig poop.
That's right. Not yet. Again.
Oh!
Wow, how much damage that
Yeah,
did
I
all
don't
those
know.
mutas.
That was an
had
insane mine, though.
That had to be the mine that, like, splash damaged everything. There's an attack coming up here, and Zerg is actually very far away from home.
Yeah, the Hellbats are actually, it's so funny to see Hellbats this late into the game, but they're doing a great job. You can't just clean it up with pure length. Flying with the Mutas back now. There is a Thor mixed in there as well. I forget those Mutas did take some damage, so looks like he'll clean it up.
Does not actually go for the Medivacs right away.
Maybe because Innovation is absolutely everywhere right now.
This is where Innovation is unleashed on the map. So these Medivacs not being punished to actually meet up with the rest of the army. That's pretty important for the sustain, for the Terran over here. More Banelings are making, but I think this push is going to activate before those Banelings can finish.
Innovation right now getting his 4 Marauders out in the front to try to tank a little bit.
Oh, great control with that Thor, by the way. The juggling is so good. Some more Banes are finishing. Zerg actually might still be able to hold this. We see a parade of reinforcements moving out across the map. Innovation not missing a beat here as far as macro goes.
Yeah, and that is very, very important for him to get those units up there because what he had left over absolutely would die to what Sue has there. Now, Sue going across the map with his Mutas. Maybe he was looking for some reinforcements or something, but he does see this starting to attack him, so brings the Mutas back to help defend.
Okay, Bane's coming back across the map here. Again, the Marauder placement is so good. All the
that
Marines
mine
are
hit
safe.
too.
Yeah, beautifully done. The counterattack can be cleaned up just with the units that are coming out of the barracks here, so this won't be doing too much. I do like the Lings over there hitting the SCVs, though.
Well, I mean, the counter harassment is nice. It's just his defense at home, I don't think, is efficient enough so far.
Yeah, well, he hasn't upended this position over here either.
And look how many medevacs there are. Like, all the long-term units aren't being kept alive.
Yeah. All he has to do is keep plugging a few Marauders into the front.
It's like 10 medevacs there.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's plenty of energy, I believe, still on those medevacs. But the ideas are here. Sue is trying to come back and defend as best he can, but this giant army is just getting bigger and bigger here, and we're just not seeing Banelings actually hit their targets.
No,
Infestation Pit goes down.
Is he even going to have enough now?
I don't know.
That's a big question here.
We got to wait and see how the Mutas and the Banes can work together. But I see them retreating here now, and I see plenty more Widow Mines back here as Terran continues to kite.
And look at that. Just spreads out and runs back. Sue is almost broken at this point.
I think he might be broken now. More Banes are being made, but this is where the bases start to fall.
Well, losing that hatchery is not a good sign for what's going to happen in the rest of this game for Sue. Rolling in with some more Lings and Banes, but I think that this is just about it, Tasteless. I think he's about to tap out.
Yeah, it's just Mutas, and that's it. GG Innovation takes game 2. Sue is out of the GSL. And
forever.
Well, at least
for at least a couple years.
Yep. Hopefully he comes back.
Yeah, I guess
tough loss there.
Maybe season 3, 2022, he might be out in time for.
I think you're probably
right
about that.
I think that's about right. Kind of sad, really. I mean, Sue is a player everybody loves and has felt for over the years through his trials and tribulations. I remember that was one of the happiest moments in StarCraft when he did win IEM.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Katowice. He's an amazing player and has some records that I don't think will ever be beaten. 2 sets of 3 second places in a row.
Wow.
Innovation of Kaidi Gaming is the second place to move on. Congratulations. Thank you. So you secured the second place spot. How do you feel?
사실 오늘 좀 소스전이 어렵기도 하고.
Honestly, the TVP was really hard for me.
떨어질 수도 있겠다라는.
So I had a feeling I might get eliminated.
2등으로라도 올라가서 다니는 거.
But I'm really happy to have moved as second place. And your relationship between with Sue has been quite a long one. So it's Sue's last GSL season before his military enlistment. So anything you want to say, Sue? Say to Sue.
제가 승자전에서 이겼어야 되는데 져가지고.
Well, I should have won in the winners bracket, but I couldn't.
안타깝고요.
So it's quite unfortunate for Sue.
마지막 경기인데.
And it was Sue's last match before his military, so I hope he has a good time there. And I hope I can see him safely back. And in the winners match, you did lose to Zoun, who was in the same team with you back in SKT. So how did that feel?
사실 제가 좀 한솔이한테 많이 진 적도 많고.
And to be honest, during scrims I did lose to Zoun a lot.
못할 때는 엄청 못하는데.
And Zoun is really bad when he's bad.
잘 짜여진 대로 하면 잘 하더라고요.
Sometimes when the conditions are good for him, he can play really well.
좀 까다로운 것 같아요.
So he's a tricky player to play against.
박한솔 선수뿐만 아니라 올해 프로토스전이 조금 불안한 면이 있거든요.
And Innovation, you did show a warring performance against Protoss in general.
특별히 어려운 점이 있을까요?
So what makes that matchup more difficult for you?
일단
well, first of all,
뭐 배터리도 좀 버프되면서
with the show battery getting buffed, the early phase and the mid phase for Protoss is more stable now. And it's hard to damage the Protoss in that phase. So I think it's gonna have to receive some nerf. Nerf the show battery? No, just nerf the Protoss in general. Is it needed? Yes. And that was Innovation to come with a balance right now. Although there was some hardship today, he did secure the second place spot and you move on to the round of 16 now. And TY will be the top seed in the upcoming group nomination. So anything you want to say to TY?
아니요, 뭐 딱히 A조로
Well, there's not much to
일이
say,
있을까 싶네요.
but I wonder if I'll ever join Group A.
그렇군요. GSL에서 시즌 3는 이신영 선수의 시즌입니다.
So
우승을
innovation.
하셨던 2014년, 2015년, 2017년 모두
In 2014, 2015, 2017, you won the GSL in season 3. So this might be the season for you, innovation. Anything you want to say?
좀 폼이 안 좋아가지고
Well, my current form does not look too
기대를
good.
안 하실 것 같긴 한데
So I don't think my fans will expect too much from me right now.
시즌 3니까 또 좀
But since this is season 3, my favorite,
오늘
I want to try my
그래도
best.
게임이 잘 되더라고요, 느낌이. 그래서
And today I felt like the games did go generally well for me. So hopefully I can do better next
이신영
time.
선수 계속 응원하겠습니다. 다시 한번
Oh, we'll look
축하드립니다.
forward to your plays, innovation. Congratulations.
네,
Thank you.
이렇게 이신영 선수 만나봤는데요. 2조 경기 최종 정리 확인해 보시죠.
All right, and there you have it. Zoun in first place in this group, showing some amazing games. Then Innovation, in his 21st GSL, makes his 20th round of 16.
Really exciting stuff. I think this is our best day yet for the round of 24. Very sad to see Sue go out, but at the same time, some new blood here in GSL, at least for Zoun. Zoun looking solid.
Life.
Yes. Yes, Simba.
Oh my God. Look at Byun with that short military hair.
Wow, look how handsome he is.
That group is going to be out of control. I can't wait for Parting to mess it up. I mean, Patience to mess it up. And like either Parting or Byun doesn't make it through. Oh my God. It's going to be great.
I'm super excited to be casting Byun again. And of course, Parting is like, I mean, you can't not be excited to see the Joker of StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
You know, the Batman villain of the game come in here with his crazy builds, his rushes.
Yeah. This is going to be amazing. Parting versus Byun. It's like the best Terran micro against the best Protoss micro. It's a couple players with very different strats. I can't wait to see it. I think Parting's definitely favored, but this should be the most exciting day. Just seeing Byun back at the professional level.
Yeah.
After so long. Yeah. Cannot wait for that. Guys, don't forget that's going to start at 5 p.m. instead of 6:30 p.m. because we have the group selection right afterwards.
That's right. So we're going to be on a little bit earlier. And if you're watching this live, we're leaving the studio and going straight to the ASL studio in Jamshil.
Yeah, we'll be on in about 2 hours with
2 hours?
Two and a half hours.
Yeah, a little bit over 2.5. So keep the channel on. If you're still up, hang out with us there. And then we've got ASL again tomorrow. All of our stuff now is on the same YouTube channel.
Yes.
For the live stuff.
And ASL English, GSL English on Africa TV.
Yes.
So, yeah, that about does it. We got to go, man.
Yeah, we got to go. Hope we can wrap this up here soon. I don't know how long the Korean casters are going to take to wrap up the show. But, look, Zoun doing as well as he did, that's really exciting. And he didn't just win. He played answering a lot of the problems that Protoss had in the past.
Yeah, he brought his own style. He executed it very well. From A to Z, it was just strong, powerful, good Protoss.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was different.
He beat Sue
and it wasn't just
Innovation.
cheesy or anything. It was like, yeah, timing attacks, but that's how you have to play. I liked it. He really mixed it up a whole lot. He was very well prepared. I'm excited to see what he does. Like, with play like that, if he can prep some series that good for the next round, he can make round of 8.
It's going to be really interesting to see what exactly happens when the group selection comes in.
Well, he thinks he's going to be picked first. I think he's maybe
right.
But
I mean, the players he's beaten, if he can beat Innovation and Sue, then you can probably beat pretty much everybody else in the GSL.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? So
I would say so.
And he handled the group phase of this in round of 24 completely fine. Breezed right through it. Yeah. And, Hurricane today, give him more time. It takes a long time to get to where you can be in an RTS.
He played pretty well, though, today.
Yeah, he looked good. It's just the further the game went on, the cracks in his play became more apparent.
Yeah, that's for sure. But he gave a run for their money to not as much to Innovation, but to Sue, I thought that was pretty reasonable, the series.
He was good. He was good against Sue, just not good enough.
Yeah.
And we wish Sue really well in the military here, and hopefully when he's out, he'll be back in GSL, like you were saying, maybe 2022.
Yeah, I think 2022,
Season
maybe Season 3, we could see Sue back if he gets out and practices and can do it. So
I want that.
Feels far away, but it's not that far away.
No.
Like next year is 2021 already.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're still not closing this out. We got to get to the
gotta
studio.
go.
We got to go.
All right.
We got to go. All right. We can
Just
go.
close it.
Guys, we love you. We'll see you in a few hours. Bye-bye.
다음 시간에 전투는 계속될 것이다. 엔타로 GSL.
I'm never gonna give